This week, you keep the High Chief's name out your fucking mouth. Welcome everybody. It's this time of week again for your favorite podcast that no one knows about. It is the time. It is the place. Welcome, gentlemen. I hope you're doing well tonight.
I'm not. The Chiefs.
At least he's honest. As always, I am joined by Olas and our friend KJ. Post Super Bowl overtime that no one gave a shit about.
Fucking overtime.
We say that because we were supposed to start 2 hours ago. And overtime really fucked our schedule there.
A little bit.
Mid Super Bowl, guys. I'm gonna say it, mid Super Bowl. I stand by
defense heavy Super Bowl.
Still mid.
Screw Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that's that would have been the real win. I wish there had been a bet on FanDuel of like, does Bane show up to implode the stadium?
You know what though? I'm gonna give them credit for as many times as the camera cut to her, they didn't like talk about her on commentary, which was nice because they didn't take away from the actual game.
Yeah.
Because that's been my biggest complaint. I don't care that she's there. I don't care that she's dating Travis Kelce. Apparently, she's brought in a lot of money to the NFL, which is cool. Like, go for it. Fuck it. Do it. But, when Mahomes and Kelce broke that, like, postseason, like, playoff touchdown record or whatever, they cut to Taylor Swift, talking about Taylor Swift, not talking about them breaking the touchdown record. And I'm like, guys, they just had a huge moment.
Yeah.
They just broke a Tom Brady record that nobody thought would be broken, and you're over here talking about Taylor Swift. You're not even showing the guys who broke the record. Like, fuck. Like,
yeah,
so,
it is.
I don't care that she's there. Happy she's there. Happy she's happy. Doesn't matter. She doesn't bother me. But
as a Packers fan, there's always next year. So, as always, we're going to start the show. Well, I guess we kind of already did, but whatever. We are going to start with a little bit of This Week in Geek. Some old people news, as in, well, no, Porto, did you ever play Dino Crisis? Is that?
No.
Okay, so yeah, still old people news. Cool.
We're the same age.
Yeah, but I know what Dino Crisis is, so I guess I'm mentally old.
Enemy spotted.
Again.
I see my friend on the screen.
As always, we're going to start the show with a little This Week in Geek, and we have some old school video game news along the lines of Dino Crisis. If you're not familiar with what Dino Crisis is, think Resident Evil, but with mutated dinosaurs.
Okay.
It was actually a really popular game for its era, and Capcom is thinking about maybe bringing it back, which I would be about. So this kind of comes off the trail of Exoprimal. I don't know if either of you played that. Capcom released that. It was kind of like a dinosaur.
I heard good things about it.
It wasn't bad. I played it quite a bit when it came out. The only issue I had with it is it got a bit repetitive. And there wasn't as much PvP to it as I wanted.
Okay.
So like basically it broke it down. You could do a PvE only where you just competed against a different team, but you mainly just fought the dinosaurs. And there was a PvP where the start of it was all PvE and you're side by side competing. And at the very last 5 minutes of it, you both would enter into the same arena and be able to fight each other. Okay. Overall, it's a solid game. I just don't think they thought longevity with it.
Probably not.
But I feel like on the rise of these like Resident Evil remakes and the new style they're going with Resident Evil, I think you could do a Dino Crisis that would be pretty good. I know they've kind of touched on some of the dinosaur survival. Jurassic Park is making their own version of that, which I'm definitely going to check out because I think that's a crazy cool concept. But this comes from, I guess, one of their social media presence, one of their agents that deal with that. They've been putting out a lot of surveys of kind of games, old Capcom games people would like to see, and Dino Crisis was up there, and like I think the top 3 of ones they want to see come back. If Capcom's bringing back old school games, I tell you one that I would love to have, just because how well fighting games are doing right now. I would love to see a Marvel vs. Capcom come back.
When was the last time they came out with one a couple years ago? Didn't they?
2020. It
So, I mean, it hasn't been like
it hasn't been crazy
incredibly
long, no. But the last one was not received very well. It was not very good. The last good one I remember was on 360.
2.
No, it was 3. So they made an Infinite, which was technically 4.
Ah. So 3 was already. I don't know why I thought it was 3 that came out.
You know what game could really make a comeback? It's a Marvel game. Marvel
You know what?
fighting game.
I'll lob the ball up. Go ahead.
Marvel Nemesis: Rise of the Imperfects. I need the sequel. I need the remake.
You know, I replayed that game recently. It's not as good as I remember.
Not
Weird.
not a great game.
Like, I remember really enjoying that game, but it was a really difficult game. The story makes no fucking sense.
No, it doesn't. But I would just love for.
Who's your
kids
favorite
nowadays-
character in that, Porto?
Fuck, if I can remember a name.
Oh,
from that
just
game.
see, man. Johnny Ohm is still my favorite character from that game.
What?
Johnny Ohm, man. He was the one that had like the fucking electrical nozzles in his head and shit.
Johnny Ohm?
God, he was great.
I just.
I will
remembered
say,
that.
as shitty as that game kind of is, the intro to that game is fantastic. Of them like killing off a bunch of the Marvel characters. Great. But I digress. The game's. Do you, Alice, you got anything? Do you got any old school games you'd like to see make a comeback?
Remade. I mean, they're doing my favorite game, which is Final Fantasy VII. So.
Oh, yes, yeah.
That. I'm trying to think. I wonder how hard it would be these days because it was very platform heavy. It was a Spider-Man X-Men game. What the fuck was it? It was like Arcade's Revenge or something.
Like
And
the I think I know the one you're talking about.
it was for the SNES.
Yeah.
Storm's level was fucking like anxiety fuel because it was one of those underwater levels.
Yeah. Which
and you
is
had to-
weird.
Yeah, of all the people. It's like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game that they threw that random fucking underwater part in, and you're like, I hate this fucking game because of this, and it made it incredibly difficult.
I wouldn't say that'd be out of the realm though, because I mean didn't they remake the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Super Nintendo games?
Format.
Yeah.
They didn't remake them. They made a new one in the in the same like beat 'em up format, but this was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. I forget what the name of it
Shredder's
was.
Revenge.
Was it? I'd have to look at it, but it wasn't a beat 'em up.
Gotcha.
It was like platformish. It was. Fuck. Hold on. Let me find it. What the hell was it called?
I think you're right. I think it's like X-Men Arcade's Revenge. Because that sounds
I'll find
that
that
sounds
in a second
familiar in
to
my head.
confirm it. Was this? Is this it right here? Hold on. Give me a second. Was it just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Oh, the NES game. It wasn't even the SNES. It was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this game was hard as shit.
I remember all the Ninja Turtle games being ridiculously.
Yeah, and then was it Spider-Man, X-Men? Yeah, Arcade Revenge.
Gotcha. I think even in that realm of Marvel games, I would
92.
love. Oh God, yeah, So that would have been.
I did too.
Yeah.
Web of
So that's-
Shadows.
Yeah, I'd love a Web of Shadows remake. Just not even like that hardcore of one, just to update the graphics. Put it in like a Spider-Man 2 kind of graphic style. I think it'd be great.
Spider-Man's level was dope in that game, by the way, because you could.
Was that the one that had Colossus in it? I know there was one that
remember-
had Colossus and Nightcrawler.
Maybe. I think that was it. 'Cause I
Well,
remember-
Nightcrawler was.
He's in a few of them, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Luke Cage was in Web of Shadows
Yeah.
because I remember they referred to him as Power Man.
That's right, they do. Yeah, they don't refer to
Yeah.
him as because it's
Because then you have Wolverine getting ripped in half.
oh god, yeah, that's right. Because that was where you could do the choices. You could do the Venom suit choice or the just the good guy choice. All the
Black
Venomized
Cat.
versions, the characters too was cool.
Black Cat was in it.
Was there a Venomized Power Man in that, or was he one of the only characters that didn't get
I think
Venomized?
he didn't get Venomized.
Because I know Wolverine, Vulture,
That's one of
Shocker.
the endings that he gets Venomized.
Gotcha. I'd also love to see although I know they made a third one, but I'd like to see them remake the first two. Was Ultimate Alliance.
I was gonna say that was actually a pretty decent game.
Because that came off the heels of the X-Men, was it Legends, I think, is what it was, or was the same concept of that game, but you were just X-Men characters.
But weren't you like custom X-Men characters for that one?
Might have been. You might have been. I don't remember. I didn't play that one. I just know that it was off that style.
I didn't either. The concept sounded cool, but then I heard not great things about like gameplay mechanics and things like that. Now, mind you, this is like, I don't know, probably at least 10 plus years ago that game came out. But yeah, I just remember like, oh, that sounds really dope, and then just not doing it. Like that last X-Men game that just came out, and I don't even remember the name of it. And I just haven't. What's the name of that game? I saw it on the PlayStation Store, and I was like, what the? Hold on.
Is there a new X-Men game that came out?
23. What was it called? What was it called? It's not going to show up on it. Or was it 22? Was it 22 or 23? I don't remember.
I feel like I haven't seen an X-Men game in so long.
Marvel Midnight Suns. It wasn't.
Oh yeah. See, that one disappointed me because I'm not big on like the XCOM and like turn-based like Halo Wars. I'm just not big on those. And when I found out that's what that was, but like not a great version of it because it was almost kind of like mobile game-ish from what I heard.
I don't hate that stuff like the Halo Wars style. I don't really. I know people were like, "Oh, it's not what we wanted." It was okay, But yeah, I don't know that I would do a Marvel version of that.
Well, speaking of video games doing wonky stuff this week, I don't know if y'all have seen this, but Xbox is apparently, I guess, not going to do exclusives anymore. Like they're going to.
That's a rumor.
Really? Because I thought I saw like Xbox is like Microsoft confirmed at least Halo was supposedly going to go to PlayStation.
I haven't seen a single like actual confirmation.
Okay, I hope that is true.
Report that is true, but I haven't seen anyone from Microsoft or Xbox themselves say, "Hey, we are putting." I might be putting my foot in my mouth when I say, "Hey, we're putting our IPs on other consoles."
Yeah.
Which honestly, people are saying, "Oh, else to end the Xbox." No, this is pretty fucking lucrative for them because they're making double the money.
Yeah, no, I don't think they lose in this situation. It just seems like an odd. Here's my concern is because you already have Nintendo who has a monopoly over their games and can kind of charge whatever the fuck they want and keep it as expensive as they want for an astronomical amount of time. I feel like once you start handing Xbox stuff to PlayStation, you run into that same issue where now PlayStation's going to start really having the imbalance of their content being not on sale as much and being harder to get or more expensive to get compared to other things. So that's my concern about it. I'm all about every game being available everywhere. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's stupid that 2024, we can't. Well, it's stupid that a lot of things in games are the way they are in 2024, but that's.
I mean, and there's so many different things that are like cross-platform these days that like even if you are having like okay, you're still making it for this console and this console and blah blah blah. Like, I don't see why they can't. Even a free game like the finals is cross-platform.
Yeah.
So why can't?
Well, you look at like Apex Legends, who just like Like he's been out for how long, and they just added cross progression.
Right.
Because that's what turned me off of that game for so long. Because I was crazy into that game, but I switched to playing on PC, and I lost all my stuff. It's like, hey, I don't want to play this
I remember
anymore.
GTA did cross progression for like a small window.
Yeah,
But I
Yeah.
missed the window, which is why I've never played with you guys on PC because I'm like, well, I'm not fucking loading into this and doing a whole fucking rigmarole for that shit again. I'm not.
yeah.
I
It's
think you just have to do like one mission. You
Yeah,
can
it's just,
honestly skip it.
well, that's where it comes in lucky when you have certain people that kind of mod a little bit, so where I can just blow through a heist and get like $4 million and you know,
But,
just
so you could buy one car.
yeah, well,
exactly. Not even
Back,
a car.
back when that
buy-
500,000 that they gave to everybody meant something, and you could actually buy shit with it.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, you don't have $50 million for this one thing.
it's not even that.
Man, inflation hit GTA hard.
I don't mind that some of this stuff is expensive. What I hate is that to get this car, I have to buy a yacht and then a truck to mod it in to put the guns on that I want that also costs money. And then I got to do these missions to even get that vehicle, but I can't really
Right.
do the missions without this vehicle. That's where I get annoyed. Where it's like,
and then
okay,
they
like
only
I'm
do
not doing
like
all this.
7 times
Yeah.
because they only pay out a certain amount.
Well, and
Like-
that's the thing. Like, I was so excited for heists, and I'm cool with the idea of like start your own business, do this, blah 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 blah. Have the runs. I'm cool with a lot of those ideas. The problem is that if you played it when it first came out for GTA Online and you play it now, it's almost like a completely different game.
Yeah.
In the sense that like certain shit for me is just not even fun anymore. Like I'm over here like, oh, I finally saved up and got this cool car. Here's some dickhead on a motorcycle that's flying with rockets, and I'm like, what? I don't know what's happening. Like when did the DeLorean become like everybody has one, but it costs like $15 million or whatever the
It took
fuck,
me-
and
it
you
took
have
me
to
a
do
while.
the certain mission, and I'm like, I can't. I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I just want to have fun.
Yeah,
Like,
and unfortunately, they kind of box themselves in because a lot of those cars make it to where you don't. It's almost kind of like Saints Row 4, where you know a big premise of what made Saints Row 3 so good is the driving and the cars and the funny stuff you could do with that. But in Saints Row 4, you get all these superpowers that make it way better to traverse the city instead of using
so why are you
cars.
doing? Yeah,
You
it's-
know, where GTA has done that too, where it's like, yeah, why would I use these cars and not just use a DeLorean that flies across the city and
Right.
has missiles?
and they had that because when it first started, they had that one car that was like 1.1 million or whatever, and that was like the top of the line car.
Yeah, I think it was the Adder.
Adder.
Yeah.
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 And you were like, oh shit, that's dope. And now it's like, that's like not even close to the most expensive
Yeah.
thing. And then there's like, I'm like, bro, I have so much shit. Like, I just don't even.
Just let me get it back.
Like,
yeah,
I
that
bought
was the
so
bad
many
thing.
cars and buildings, and now it's like, all of that shit is obsolete now. Like, what am I supposed to? I'm just supposed to go sell all that shit at a fraction of what I paid for it, and then.
Yeah.
So I could save up for like one fucking yacht that I can't do anything with. Like,
Yeah, I mean, and there's some of the stuff where like they absolutely try to sell it to you like it's a big part of the game, and it's not. Like the yachts are the biggest bogus amount of crap because they
Right.
don't do anything.
no.
I will say the one benefit is they do add quite a few. If you know how to finagle the game, there's quite a few of the missions where they will make money for you. That way you don't actually have to do anything.
Sure.
Because like that was kind of what I started doing, was like I did like the arcade where it's like, hey, you invest in this property and it, you know, you collect money like every day from it. And
See, and I like that idea.
yeah,
Like I like that setup. So start your business, start the arcade. I mean, I don't know why I need like a fucking silo and a bunker and shit, but you know, whatever. I'm not fucking going to nuclear war with Russia and shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm playing GTA, bro. Like it's not that deep. Like
yeah. I mean, it's
they
6
they
is gonna be
implemented some
interesting.
decent shit and then like oversaturated all the stupid shit. And I was like, but I like this little small pocket of shit you guys were doing here, and then you fucked it with all this. And then it's like,
Yeah.
so I'm hoping they don't, box themselves into a corner with that like they did So like moving forward with 6, I hope they clean it up and make it a little easier.
Yeah. And it's actually a great transition to companies that are just wilding out here this week. We're really hitting all the stories of just companies being wild. Did you know you should just be okay with not owning the games you purchase online, guys?
Yeah,
You just need to be okay with not owning that stuff.
That's nuts.
So what I'm referring to is Ubisoft has come out. I can't remember who it was at Ubisoft. The name escapes me at the moment. Pretty much came out in an interview that said that in 2024, gaming communities need to just be okay with not actually owning the games you purchase online. And what he's referring to is, unlike when you buy a physical copy, you own that physical copy. Nobody can take that physical. Well, I guess they could, but you know, in theory, no one can take that physical copy from you. Whereas when you purchase it online, you're more or less purchasing a license to play that game. And in the fine print of the same stuff in every game that none of us read, and we all scroll through it because we just want to play the game, I believe there's some contractual obligations that they can choose to revoke that license at any point. And up until recently, no one's done it besides Ubisoft. Like they're the only
They
one.
need to make their games cheaper.
Actually, I thought you were gonna bring up something else.
Yeah.
So I can add on. I can tack on this. Might be because I'm the only one who really keeps up with anime news. Recently, Funimation is shutting
Funimation,
down.
yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I did
And
see.
with that-
Yeah.
And with that, all
Because they got
their
absorbed by
digital library-
Crunchyroll, right?
Exactly. So if you have digital media purchased through Funimation, gone. You don't get that with
Yeah.
Crunchyroll. It's just gone.
Oh, see, that's trash.
Yeah, it's not part of
So
the
I
agreement, I
thought you
guess.
were talking about-
it's just-
I
No,
thought you were
I
talking
did.
about
I did forget about that. Yeah. No, I didn't realize that's what it. Like I knew
Yeah,
they got
it's
purchased.
legitimately just gone.
I couldn't
So-
remember what the specifics were, but I remember seeing that, and people were like really pissed about it.
Yeah.
They still are. And
Yeah.
then Crunchyroll is up in their prices, but they're not including anything different.
Oh, well,
It
that's
was like
every
a
one
du-
of
it
these
was like a-
damn.
I mean, that
But
is every
It
streaming
was
service.
it was like a 1-2 punch of that info.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't great timing.
Hey, you're
yeah.
losing all your Funimation info. Hey,
By
we're
the
also
way,
jacking up
yeah.
our prices.
Well, did you see what?
I
Do either of you all do Amazon Video at all?
yeah.
You see, now you have to purchase the $3 extra bonus to not have ads on Amazon
Dude.
Video.
$2.
Oh, mine said $2.99.
Mine
It's
said
$2.99.
$2.
Okay, well, I have to double check. But even then, I'm just like, seriously,
still-
like,
Yeah.
you know,
But still,
I'm
like-
already paying
Watch it.
120, 130 on, you
I
know.
just want to watch Invincible. I
Like,
still wonder
good grief.
why it took 2 months.
Oh God, has the new episodes of that come back out
No,
yet?
It doesn't come back until March.
Jesus,
Still fucking pissed about that one.
good grief.
I actually got to catch up on Reacher.
I just watched the first season.
Yeah, they just finished the second season, so I'm kind of pumped to watch that.
I like the guy so far. But yeah, it's wild to think that because Ubisoft is the only one that I can think of that has done that in the past.
What did they pull?
It was one of the Ghost Recons. It was an older Ghost Recon, but nonetheless one that people had purchased.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
still-
and they're like, oh hey, yeah, like, you know, we're not going to give you your money back, and you can't play this game anymore. It's like, what, you know. And I just think that's a wild mentality, but I do love the other side of it. People are going, okay, well, if this isn't ownership, then me pirating it isn't illegal. You know, it's
Yeah,
not.
play that. Y'all can play that. They were doing the same thing with the Funimation thing. Like, y'all are playing a dangerous game here.
Yep.
Because now it's just gonna get worse.
Yeah.
Because technically,
Well,
it's
I
still
mean,
pirating.
right.
Pirating is
I
still
mean,
illegal.
at that point, they should make the digital versions of them cheaper.
Yeah,
They
if
should.
you're gonna
I mean,
do
that's
that,
always been
yeah.
the argument, but yeah, I mean, if you're basically like not indefinitely, but up until they decide renting it, I guess I don't,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
then,
just
then they shouldn't be full price if you can just pull it at the drop of a dime. Not that I think, I mean, even though they're saying that, I don't think like whatever they've released in the last couple of years is getting pulled anytime soon, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
that would be stupid. What they're probably going to pull, and I don't know what their reasoning for it is. There's always a reason for something. I can't imagine somebody was just like, how can I just be a piece of shit? Oh, I know. Like, let's do this. I'm sure there's something that they went, oh yeah, we should pull this off, maybe make more room on their servers, or I don't know, whatever, right? The same reason why all these other companies like shut down servers of games that have been out for like ever, because it's just not feasible. It's not, whatever.
And
I don't
even
know,
that,
but
I guess I understand that more of like, hey, yeah, like every game has its life cycle. Where Call of Duty, how long do you generally expect Modern Warfare 2 lobbies from 2009 to stay on? No one's
Right.
using them, and that's taking up server space, and
sure,
like I get that, but I still want to be able to, like, if I choose, hey, I want to play the campaign again because that sounds really cool, I'd like to have an stat. Like, I hate the thought of I purchased this game, and although I cannot use the online part of it, and I get that, and that makes sense in a business stature, I'd still would like to play what I can of the game. But now you're telling me, oh, hey, you can't play this anymore, or you're not allowed to.
So for me, I'm gonna big brain this somewhat. What they should do is sell it at a reduced price, not by anything crazy, maybe like even $10, right? Like a $10 difference. And then say, hey, we're shutting this game down. If you would like to keep the game, we can sell you for $10 more a physical copy that we will like mail to you or whatever. You know what I mean? Like just to have it.
Yeah, but
like,
even
if
with
you still want
PCs
to play
nowadays,
this,
I mean, that's
well,
a lot of people don't
yeah,
have.
I mean,
I don't have a disk drive in mine where I could,
Right. Well, I don't either, but it's just one of those things where like they gotta, there's got to be some
find a
way to figure
compromise
it out because
somewhere.
everything's going digital. I mean, they have a PlayStation version that doesn't have discs. They have an Xbox that doesn't take discs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know of any newer PCs that take discs or whatever they're
Without
gonna,
you physically building it into the system.
right. So
Yeah.
there's no. I mean, everything's going digital, so they have to do something. I don't care how old the game is. There's no reason. I mean, look, if you look at Steam now, they got shit from like 2009 on there. They
Hell, I
got
was
shit from
playing
2000.
one of the old Star Wars Shadow of the Empire
Right.
from the N64 era. It plays like shit, but I still wanted to play it.
Yeah.
Like,
But they got to figure something out because obviously with the blowback, there's no.
I just don't
there's
know
no winning.
what it is with them where they just love pissing everybody off in the gaming community. Like,
Well, some of it is overreaction to things. This is not. This by no means is an overreaction, but I think certain things, something happens and then they get a reputation and then it becomes a thing.
yeah,
Like EA with the whole like what was it, Battlefront 2, the loot crates and all that stuff.
yeah, that was bad.
Even though no, and they corrected it, but they'll never live it down.
Yeah,
right. Not that they've had a fantastic track record with certain things, but
peak EA was GameCube EA to me, especially sports games and
and that's the thing too. When they weren't doing like I bought all the exclusive rights to NFL games, and it's like 2K did it better though. Like,
yeah,
and then they were still making baseball games up until a certain point, and then they stopped doing that. And those games were pretty fun. MVP Baseball 2005 was like one of the most fun baseball games you could play.
All the street games.
I want that back.
The street games? Oh my god,
yes.
man!
Put Michael Vick on any team, you're automatically cheating.
Right.
See, for me, because I never got into the NFL once, I was crazy into the NBA.
NBA Street. Oh yeah, no.
Fucking throwing Yao Ming on a fucking team and just goaltend the whole time.
I will say though, N1 had a basketball game, and it was. It was a little bit better than NBA Street.
I do vaguely remember that game.
Bring back that one football game where you could just murder people.
Blitz?
Be out for like
Blitz.
Yeah, man. Blitz to this day is still my favorite.
I don't think it's Blitz. Yeah. This is the one where it like fucking gives you fucking Mortal Kombat X-ray.
No, yeah, that's that was like the last version.
It was made
by
Blitz. It was made by Acclaim, who was the creators of the Mortal Kombat.
That just makes it perfect.
Because it was always great where you could tackle them and then just do an elbow drop.
They also had Slugfest, the baseball.
You could do the similar,
Okay.
Yeah,
because they had like a Mortal Kombat like baseball team, fucking one of the games. It was really funny.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you could do Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Just imagine like running to home.
So that's
Dude's,
the
like right there, freeze.
for
choke.
watching. The theme of the podcast is us reminiscing on games that some of you guys have probably never heard of.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna start talking about Altered
Good old
Beast in a minute, and then we're gonna talk about
Oh Lord.
Welcome to your doom. Yeah, that's my shit.
Jesus Christ.
Because
Okay.
I'm old, so I remember these NES games and these.
Yeah, see,
Super Nintendo, Sega
I
Genesis.
wasn't an NES. I was SNES, and then at the end of that era, and then 64.
Oh, I was Gamecast.
Gamecast. Oh,
Yeah.
what was the one that Sega had that was the handheld?
The Power Glove.
No.
No, that was Nintendo.
It was like it was like a
PSP?
brick
Hold on, Sega handheld. What the?
because it
fuck
was supposed to
it
compete with the
called?
Game Boy, and it absolutely did. You could kill somebody with this thing.
It won't tell me.
PSP.
No, that's PlayStation. This is like the same era as like the Game Boy Color.
1990. Was that it?
Maybe a little
Oh yeah,
before.
this Game Gear. Yep.
Game Gear.
Game Gear.
This thing was a
Yeah.
poured out the unit. Well, I'll have to show you a picture. Of this.
It was
This-
a
it was
weapon.
a brick.
Yeah. Hold on, I got a picture of it right here. This is
That's
fucking
bright.
amazing.
Oh God, the Game Gear. I remember breaking my Game Gear playing Sonic the Hedgehog. I took that thing and I just went, boy.
Bam. Look at that beefy motherfucker. I just put it.
Oh, it's like the Nokia.
Yeah.
It's like the Nokia game console.
First of all, I had that Nokia
That bitch
3300
strong.
phone.
That
And
bitch-
then
that-
like 3 months later they came out with the Jay-Z version where like the Black Album was on it, and I was like,
That's
Cheesy
dope.
version.
Happy
it was
Black History
dope because
Month.
it was the first cell phone where you could have MP3s on it. Was the Nokia 3300. My grandmother bought it for me when I was in high school because it was like she knew I was like heavy into music, and she was like, "Oh, this is really cool. I'm gonna get you this." And I was like, "Oh, dope." And then they came out with I got a blue one because she asked me if I wanted blue or orange. I got the blue one, and then they
Oh, you
came out
should've
with the
went
black one
orange.
for the Black Album, and I was like, "Yeah, that's dope."
Should have
Yeah,
traded.
the orange one was kind of goofy looking.
See,
Not the blue one.
it's-
The whole thing was goofy looking.
It was like a Nickelodeon phone.
I had the Razor. You know,
I
that
mean, the Razor
was-
was dope too.
God, we were so cringy back in the day. All right. Well, that ends This Week in Geek and all our complaining about everything gaming companies do for the time being. What was the NXT pay-per-view? Because I have it on here as whatever.
Oh, Vengeance Day.
Vengeance Day.
Thank you. I sat here for 5
Yeah.
minutes typing this up going, I cannot remember what it is that this was called.
I sent a picture of the 3300 for you
Oh Lord.
so you can see what it looks like.
Oh no, I
Oh,
remember because my brother
Christ.
had one. So as far as this pay-per-view, what we had Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin win the
Dusty
Dusty.
Classic.
Dusty Classic, which something about that team I like it. It's stupid, but I like it.
War
So,
Dog.
no, it's the Wolf,
Wolf
Dogs.
Dogs.
I don't
War Dogs.
care.
I'm the same way
Don't-
because I
it
keep
sounds
wanting to
better.
say War Dogs, and I'm like,
I'm
wait, no,
going
that's
to
not it.
autocorrect it until
Yeah.
it sticks.
Jesus.
Nope, it'll still be Wolf Dog.
Don't care. It's the War Dogs.
And then we had the inevitable Carmelo Hayes turn at the end of the NXT Championship match.
Yep.
Was a good match too. I did enjoy. Trick Williams has really won me over, man. I just love watching that guy wrestle.
Because I remember when we started this,
No,
you
yeah.
really did not like him.
I did not know. I was not a
At
big Trick
all.
Williams guy, and then it's just that the more I kept seeing him, I go, you know what? I fuck with this guy. He's pretty
Yeah.
good.
So
Speaking
question.
of that-
Oh, go ahead.
Because it's gonna bring up. It's not a. It does bring up AEW and
Uh-huh.
a thing. There was a comparison
I was-
of Dave Meltzer's star rating of the main event of Vengeance Day,
The
Triple Williams versus
Takeshita and
Jericho,
Jericho?
match. Guess which one ranked higher?
Jericho match.
Yes.
Racist.
by a quarter of a star.
Yeah, it was
Racist.
like 4.25 to 4. I'm like, we all see the same match.
Who's the Jericho? Because I didn't watch the Jericho
Jericho
match.
versus Takeshita.
Okay.
Takeshita is a great
Yeah,
wrestler,
I feel like any Jericho match is
He-
only a 3-star
And
at
he
best.
and he
He carried
definitely
that match.
should have won the match, and I'm
Thank
and I'm
God.
perfectly fine with
He-
that. And okay, the way he won was cool because he used the walls of Jericho on Jericho and made him tap. Okay, that's fine. Still not a better match.
yeah.
It's not. It's just
No,
But,
And
back
the-
to Vengeance Day.
the problem
talking-
is that it's too much. Like it's just clear bias. That it's like,
Yeah.
all right, well now we're just gonna do this to do it. Like
Yeah.
Also, since we're bringing up comparisons, I was gonna ask, who's the better hype man? Is it Booker T for Trick Williams,
Or Wade
is
Barrett?
it Prince Nana for?
Oh, Prince
Swerve.
Nana.
oh well, yeah, it's still Prince Nana.
Yeah.
That
Damn,
guy,
Michael,
it's just
we're
that
not doing
guy.
this.
Swerve could never come out, and I would still be hyped up. It would just be him doing the dance.
I
Not-
love
Yeah.
saying whoop that trick, but
Yeah.
that dance.
I still love Wade Barrett trying to ad lib for
Come
Trick
on.
Williams' song though. God bless that guy. He tried his
And
best.
he did the Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he does
come
the
on.
Chimon.
But I love what was it? Booker T tweeted out. He just goes, "That's a shame." That's
Yeah.
all he says.
That's a damn thing.
It's like, jeez,
Oh,
man.
Uh,
And even like Dragunov, I don't feel like he ever puts on a bad match. Like I just
No.
even like low tier people, it's just always so well done.
he's one
And
of the
like-
hidden secrets in NXT that
and
people.
and they kick the shit out of each other. Too.
Oh,
Like, that's
yeah.
the thing. Like they're laying that shit in. They're really going. That's why I tell people all the time, like if you haven't watched that, at the time him and Walter match, like the
fucking
first one,
murdering each
just
other.
even just the first one,
Yeah.
where it's like, dude, that dude should be dead. Like I said 17 different
watched it.
times, like that dude's dead. Like I can't. It was a rough watch, but like a good one. Like
Yeah.
I was invested. I'm like, dude, I hope he kicks the shit out of this big motherfucker, and he didn't.
And then came
Not until
back.
the second match, and I was like, yeah. Every time he came back, it was like, nope. And I was like, oh shit. Like
I do like his
yeah.
finisher though, as simple as it is. There's just
the fucking
something
symphony and then
yeah, there's just something brutal about it. Of just that falling just "Hata!"
it feels like it could legit knock someone
Oh
out. if you do it
yeah,
wrong.
man. No,
If-
there
if
was
one day he got mad. He could
there
really
was
fuck
who was
someone
it he
up.
faced a few weeks ago? It was a scrawnier guy. Might have been Frazier.
Fucking probably just murdered. the
And
kid.
he laid that in. I'm like, dude, he's like, somebody gotta check this guy because he might
Yeah.
not be breathing. Like it just,
You
oh,
get a Xia Li moment all over again.
Lord.
Wait, no one remembers when Xia Li legitimately knocked someone out in NXT?
I don't remember who it
Yeah,
was,
with
but
the-
I do
with the
remember
kick.
her doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Candice LeRae.
Okay,
it was
yeah.
Candice LeRae. Yeah.
No, I remember the knockout. I just couldn't remember who it was. She did it too.
Or that time Brie Bella knocked out Liv Morgan in a match. That was fun.
Oh, because she kicked her right in the face.
Kicked
Yeah.
her in the jaw and she was unconscious. And
Did
took-
she kick her twice, or did she only kick her that one time?
She kicked her. Liv was literally falling unconscious,
And she
and Brie
fucking
kicks
whacked her
again.
again. Yeah.
It was
You,
like,
you ever
oh,
wonder
man.
that
how many
was
people
hard.
Aleister Black actually knocks out? Because there's some of those that I
I'll go-
question.
I'll
Of
go
like,
one.
Can't.
deserved it. Lars Sullivan
Yeah.
oh
fucking
god,
broke that man's jaw. Fucking
thank God, the guy was
Speaking of
trash.
creeps and people can, well, I don't
Go.
know how to say this
Go.
one.
Do it.
No, anyone, because it's NXT related. Anyone remember Velveteen Dream?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
didn't he go on? He's on like an apology tour right now, isn't
He
he?
was on the Chris Van Vliet podcast.
I do like
where
that
he
guy.
Talked about that. Where he talked about that whole situation, like he
Yeah.
had receipts to clear his name, and it's like it does look like he was kind of set up, and let's not negate the fact that
Allegedly, allegedly.
the WWE did do their own investigation and found
Yep.
him like innocent. So it's like, if you really think about it, he was cleared, but it was just the constant thing of him being brought up, and it
Yeah.
was he was arrested.
Does he still
couple
wrestle?
car crashes. No, he hasn't wrestled since
That's what I was
because nobody
wondering.
would take him.
I was,
based on-
yeah, I was wondering.
Basically, everyone saw the initial thing of, oh, he was a creep talking to minors, and just didn't look into it past that.
Well, I know Chris Van Fleet came under some like fire because of the people that he's had on recently. Because he also had Riddle on, and somebody else. So it was Patrick Clark,
I thought the
it was
Riddle
Velveteen
interview was
Dream,
great.
Yeah,
Matt
it's
Riddle,
great.
and he had one other person on, but I don't remember who it was. And they were like, "Oh, he's giving these people a platform," and I'm like, I mean,
What
he's
was what
he
was
asks
Riddle
honest
actually?
questions. He asked fair questions. I mean, yeah, and other than well, I mean, I think he had allegations against him too, if I remember correctly. But
Probably.
other than him just being a fucking idiot,
Yeah, I
like
thought
I
what is
don't,
it? It was assault, but I thought they proved that it wasn't nothing about that was legitimate.
yeah, um,
Because it wasn't like his girlfriend or a porn star or something.
Yeah.
yeah,
I do like they clear I feel like they clear some stuff up between him and
But
Seth. Where it's
yeah,
like, he kind of goes on, he's like, yeah, like I was okay with what he said,
but
this
I
was an
think the last straw
agreement.
was the last straw was the whole was the airport thing
Yeah.
where he claimed he was sexually assaulted. Something
yeah,
that would probably pissed a lot of people off.
Well,
Though.
yeah.
'Cause
right,
at that
But
point, you're faking a sexual.
yep.
no one said he
So
wasn't
yeah, I mean,
stupid.
and
He owned
but
fucking
he
Brett.
also said he was stupid. So
Yeah.
like I give him credit
No,
because,
he
and I
owned it,
didn't watch
yeah.
the full thing, but he owned a lot of his own shit. Like, and he even said he's like, I don't wish anybody like ill will. I'm glad they're making their money. I'm doing my thing and making my money too. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, you know what? For like a doofus who made a lot of stupid decisions, he's at least being mature about it and being like, yeah, like this is what it is. Like and he did say, because they asked him if he thinks he'll ever go back, and he thinks so because of all the people that have come back.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it would be out of the realm. I think,
Velveteen Dream or Matt Riddle.
I
Matt
think
Riddle.
both, honestly. I mean, if
I mean, if
Honestly,
they can,
it'll still be a while for Velveteen, but
if they can definitively prove that Patrick Clark didn't do anything, I see no reason why they don't bring him back.
yeah.
but it'll be
Uh,
a tough sell.
Right.
No matter
But
what.
they have to. That's why I said they have to definitively prove that he did nothing,
Yeah.
which is a shame because again, you're supposed to definitively prove that he did something
Yeah.
in order for him to
So,
be in the position that he's
yeah.
in.
Look, people, Jimmy Snuka killed the woman, and they brought him back at one point.
Right, and
Oh.
they kept him on that. They kept him on that family tree.
Oh, I mean, Hulk also did some shady shit, and they let him come back.
You didn't see his name on
yeah,
the.
you just say I saw.
I'm kind of blind, and I really wasn't paying attention to the actual tree itself.
Well, I saw a screenshot of it, and I was reading through the names. Like they had Jacob Fatu on there, but they had Jimmy Snow. Like they had people that weren't even like in the company on there, and then they did.
Because
They did
Tamatonga,
keep.
Toalea, and all of them are still part of it by not by blood, but by connection.
Right.
The Rock is
And-
like friends with. He's like he calls their father his uncle.
Yeah.
And basically by a culture, that's his
Yeah.
part of the family.
I was thinking,
Well, and
their
that's
family tree is
the whole
complicated as far
explanation.
as
Yeah.
who's
Maybe.
related to who and how,
But Jimmy's related by marriage.
Yes.
He's not actually. He's no blood.
Who
kin to
did he
anybody.
marry? Well, that's a random question. I'm not sure anybody would.
It was like a niece or something.
Okay, I was
And that's why
curious how he
Tamina's
got.
in it.
Yeah.
That's why Tamina's in it
Yeah.
because her mother is part of the family tree, and that's how that.
But he was on that list of like
Hmm.
he was on there.
You know who's not on that list? Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they're not. They're not.
Why
That's
did you
got to
look
be
confused
racist,
about
right?
it?
Like that's.
No. Samoa Joe, not part of the Samoan dynasty.
Right.
Speaking of which, if you never watched Young Rock, I'd recommend it. I thought it was kind of interesting seeing his portrayal of his life, as a kid with a wrestling father, and although the representations of some of the older wrestlers aren't all great, the Hogan one is spot on. I will say that though, the Hulk Hogan one is spot on to me. But yeah, I would recommend it. It's a shame they're not doing a third season.
Nah, Dwayne can fuck off.
Oh, well,
Look,
try to separate him, but yeah.
Over the years.
Well, hold on. Let's just get
Dwayne-
into this shit. Let's
Okay.
just go ahead and just. Well, we'll just get into the press conference in general. And when I say the press conference, I'm mainly talking about one segment of the entire press conference.
Still, it's hold up before we get into the main part. I find it disrespectful that Io Sky or Shirai, like Rhea Ripley called her fucking name, or Bailey was not there.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
on the
really weird.
WrestleMania and on the WrestleMania poster, neither one of them is on that poster, but Bianca
Bianca.
Belair is.
Yeah, I didn't understand why Bianca was there.
I get that she's more marketable because you want to get that black audience, but I do not care. She is one. Bailey and Io is the only confirmed match. Well, the first confirmed match for WrestleMania.
Yeah, and then you have.
Cody and Roman is the second.
Do you
but-
think they're teasing who's gonna win Elimination Chamber then? If they brought her,
No, it'll be Becky.
Think
No,
so?
Because they brought Becky out.
I guess that's
and
true.
they're
Yeah, they
really
did.
building to that match
Because they've been teasing that anyway.
because they've never wrestled.
Right.
Hmm.
They've been
all,
they've had like little in the hallway brief interactions. They've been keeping them apart, which is good because then it's even better for when they finally get a match. But I mean, we all kind of know where that's
Yeah.
going.
Yeah,
For the first time, Mommy becomes a bottom. That was the line. That was the takeaway line from that whole interaction.
fair enough.
But yeah,
But
it's the battle of the mommies.
the main
Yeah.
part of the press conference that was all over Twitter and the internet and TikTok, because I think I saw like 20 videos in a 3-minute time span.
Yeah.
Phenomenal promo from Rhodes, I will say. I thought was a very well done, just kind of not like overly drawn out, just a quick few jabs that was sentimental of like, you're trash. I did think it was weird that Rollins stayed out there the whole time. He seemed really out of place.
But it started with Rollins.
It
That was
did,
the
and
thing.
you're right. No, I get why he initially comes out.
And I did enjoy the back and forth of him and Roman.
Yeah.
Because if we go like from start to finish, Rollins comes out because it was him to start it off.
Yeah.
He was supposed to come out. And then he says, all right, Cody, come on out, say who you're going to pick.
And then Roman comes out.
And then Roman comes out instead.
Yeah.
Yep.
They do the back and forth of, hey, he got a pop. Oh, you're wearing your wife's shoes. Who cares? Cheap laugh. Then Roman decides, well, I'm picking who I want to face at WrestleMania, and I choose The Rock because that's the money match.
Yeah.
Rock comes out. They do the fucking family tree and basically devalue the belt because this isn't a battle for the belt. This is a battle about the head of the table. This is about family. Cue Dom Toretto somewhere revving up his car, and they do the fucking handshake. R.I.P. Carl Weathers.
Was that? Yeah, so it was the Schwarzenegger Carl Weathers handshake.
They really did shoot that angle. Like
You
perfect.
son of a bitch.
Bitch.
Bam. Yeah, like that's
Speaking of, but yeah, so they do that. They put up the graphic of Rockin' Roman. Then no music, no kingdom, no whoa. You just hear Cody.
This
Oh,
is
this is
bullshit. That's great.
I couldn't tell if that was. I didn't know whose voice that was. I'm so used to not hearing Cody Rhodes' voice like that. I don't know. If it
Yeah.
was me or just the way the audio of the microphone was set up. Couldn't tell it was Cody Rhodes until he walked on stage.
Yeah, I love that. This is bullshit.
Oh, a lot of curse in this fucking press.
yeah, oh my god. I'm actually kind of pumped because like if this is the kind of shit we're gonna get on Netflix, I'm for it.
Really.
So stop
I'm-
censoring. I want to hear it.
And I did see like fan videos to where I could actually like hear the shit that was bleeped out because
Yeah.
at the end of the whole like Rock thing to Triple H, he tells him he's gonna smack his teeth down his fucking throat or like smack his fucking teeth down his throat, and they like blurred that whole thing out, and you were like, I don't know what he just said.
Well,
But
like-
then I heard the crowd go, ooh. I was like, oh, he said some shit. Like,
Well, I like that
But
like
yeah,
Triple H kind of fudged his like whatever line he was going for. At least that's what it sounded like when I hear it initially, where it's like Roman says, what was it, we're leaving, or be lucky we're leaving, or something. Or no, was it I keep seeing two different versions of what he said. I heard I've heard be lucky that you're not cleared, and I've heard be lucky that we're leaving. Which was it that Roman actually said to Triple H?
I thought initially he said about being cleared.
Okay. Because then I know, like, he tries to say, what I assume he was trying to say is you should be lucky as well. Like, you know,
Like you are too.
Yeah, it just didn't kind of come out that way when he
Right.
said it. I was like, man.
We kind of glossed over it, but
we were coming back to it, Justin.
They started it with on Pat McAfee show with The Rock kind of being a bit of a dick, feeding into the bullshit that's been, a lot of the blowback, and I was fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Hollywood Rock. I mean, that's all it was.
I'm okay with that, right? Because since he's come back, and it's been 13 years at this point since he's been back, because he made that first comeback in 2011.
Yeah.
To gear up he was hosting WrestleMania, and then they fought Cena at the next WrestleMania, and then the next blah blah blah. He's been the same guy for the last 13 years, so him going back to being a dick, I'm cool with.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Him cutting a promo on the Pat McAfee show, like, part of it is nostalgia, because like I remember him in his prime being a dick, and I don't even mean like 03 Hollywood Rock. I mean like 99 corporate rock, 97 Nation of Domination Rock, like all that stuff. I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. We're getting dickhead rock again. Like, this is cool. And then he fucking went full-fledged heel at the press conference, and I was like, oh. And not for nothing. I mean, dude still works a crowd. He was going with the what chance. They tried to drown him out with the what chance, and he just fucking spoke, and he kept it going. And I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do it, like, a lot of people get distracted by it, and he's just rolling with it, and he's just going with it. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Told him it didn't matter. Everybody got a big fucking reaction out of it. Yep. If you don't like it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Just for clarification, Roman says, you're lucky that we're here. Speaking about him and Paul being there to prevent him from, I guess, slapping Cody. And that's when Triple H says, you lucky you are too. Which still makes no sense.
I guess in a sense of like, I could fire you, I guess. I don't know.
I guess it's like, lucky you're here too. But in the sense of, this would not go out the way you think it will.
Yeah.
It's a weird line. But yeah, he says, you're lucky we're here.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. I mean, it was hard to tell.
There was a lot of cutting in and out because of all the cursing, that it was like hard to kind of keep track of who was saying what.
Roman doesn't seem mic'd well, so he talks slow.
Yeah.
But no, I do like the like I said, the Cody promo where, what was it? It doesn't matter what end of the table you sit at when you haven't done the cooking for 2 years. I was like, oh man, God, that's great. It's just such a simple fucking, like, just dig. But of course he gets the taste slapped out of his mouth, and I mean, man, he got him, man. I saw the steel frame of it, and you can see just full contact, man. He is there.
AEW Cody Rhodes, he will take a hit.
Yeah, is he full contact? I was like, I appreciate it.
If you go back, you see him like starting to like
tense up a little bit, yeah,
because he's like expecting it, and I'm like, okay,
he knows it's coming.
Well, because it's funny, like they're like, oh my god, did he really go into business for himself? I'm like, The Rock's not going into business for himself, bro. Like, of all people that would ever do that, The Rock is not that guy.
Yeah.
No.
If he would have done that, he would have slapped the shit out of John Cena fucking 10 years ago when he made the comment about the fucking wrist tattoo with the promo notes and shit like that.
Did you see what Cena was on Logan Paul's podcast, and they talk about that?
Yeah.
About him using that, and he was like, if I could go back, I wouldn't have done it. He goes, that just wasn't.
He shouldn't regret that one.
No, I get, I get it, because the way he explains it is very, very professional, as far as, hey, like, I was trying really hard to disrespect this guy. He's taking time out of his hands to, promote our company, and, Because it was just one of those rookie things of you trying to get cheap heat. He was like, yeah, I've learned, I would never do that again. Because Logan Paul makes that comment of like, do you think his promo was written on his wrist? And he goes, no, The Rock doesn't do the same mistake twice. Like that's not who he is.
But I think like I can see because John does explain like the reason why he did that is because he saw his Rock is like he leaves.
Yeah,
He's gonna be here for 2 or 3 weeks to promote himself, and he's
gone.
still to this day, it still holds up. He's not wrong. He was never wrong. It's the fact
He
that
just-
John Cena ended up being
That same
Rock.
thing. Yeah.
But the difference between, but there's a clear cut when you think about it more in 2 seconds that John will do anything in his power to stop like what he's doing and make it into a schedule to do a fucking full
job out
full
really
thing.
at this point.
Exactly. He's been back just a job to Solo. Really didn't.
I was
do
gonna say
anything.
for as much as like the matches with him and Theory and Solo weren't like
I do think the Theory
classics or
ones were
great.
wasted.
I mean just because there was no, even if the match went the way it went, but it elevated Austin Theory to like, now he's like, I mean, obviously with Roman being in the spot he's in, there's no, he's not going that far, but
Yeah.
it just didn't really go far. They paired him up with Waller, which is fine too, because like, it's two dickheaded guys who like you want to punch in the face. It makes sense for them to team. But as much as like, the matches haven't been fantastic. Like we are still kind of spoiled that he came back and like worked for. I don't know how long was it? I
It
mean,
was a couple of months, but that was due to the strike.
right,
He
which
was
is
supposed to be
fine,
there for
right?
a
Like
month.
what
do what time
wasn't
you have,
supposed to be, what wasn't supposed to be something that lasted as long as it did. We got extra time. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. No,
And
I
then if
mean
you
it's
compare, The Rock wasn't doing anything because he had the right strike was still affecting him,
yeah.
Right.
and all he did was that one thing on SmackDown.
Yeah,
With,
that was super
McAfee.
random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was only because they were like down the street,
Yeah.
or an hour away. So it's
Yeah.
like it's convenient for him. I feel like John went out.
John
of his
will
way.
actually fly and move shit. Yeah, like you said, move shit around to be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still respect it though, of kind of like that going back and going, yeah, like, I'd have asked before I done it and, basically told him, hey, if you go out like that, I'm going to use it,
Man was heated that day.
Yeah.
Because he threatened what rip John Cena's throat.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't The Rock. That was Dwayne.
Yeah, that was Dwayne Johnson. That was
Dwayne getting hurt in real time.
And you like, I mean, he wore it on his face. Like he did not hide it. Like he was
very upset about it.
Pissed.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, yep.
Look, you hurt the brand. He's gonna come for you. And I think that's just my thing with The Rock nowadays. I only see him as the brand of Dwayne Johnson that he's built around himself, and I find it
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's him and Ryan Reynolds.
Hey, you leave him out of this, okay?
I promise you,
we just got a Deadpool 3 trailer.
Oh, I'm gonna fucking watch it. Deadpool and Wolverine. But if you see like all the stuff they're doing with the soccer team that he owns or the fucking liquor that they both own, everything they do is now some type of brand thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't knock him for that. I mean, that's just good business.
Yeah, but
I mean, that's modern culture in a nutshell, though.
Yeah.
I guess it's just not for me.
You think we're not trying to get a brand deal?
Look,
sign me up, bro.
No. If I'm watching a movie and it literally feels like I'm watching 2 commercials back to back, that's where I check out.
I mean, unless it's Wayne's World, who did it fantastically.
That's but that's different.
I wouldn't sell out to a corporation.
Yeah.
God,
they did that great, but
no, like Red Notice, there's like 2 shots of both of them drinking, and they're both specifically drinking the liquor. That
Aviation and Terramana. Yeah.
Fuck both.
Yeah, but I mean, I have a hard time hitting them with that because it's just how bad movies do that in general. Like, have you seen how many ad drops there are in like Jurassic World? Like that whole movie is just like an ad drop.
Yeah.
No, the worst one is Power Rangers with the Krispy Kreme.
Oh yeah.
Listen, that's
I mean, that's just business, though. I mean, I get
know,
it.
but it's just
I get what
that's
you're
just a
saying.
person.
Yeah, I mean, it's you attribute them to a specific thing.
It's a quick little wink, wink, nudge, nudge, whatever. Ha ha. Like this is my brand. Okay, fine, whatever.
But back to the press conference. It seems like even with the teaser they dropped today, it seems like they're going in the direction of a tag team match with
Mhm.
Rock and Roman being the Samoan Power Trip versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes.
Is Seth going to be cleared though by?
WrestleMania.
He's
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
cleared for WrestleMania for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they would have done it at Elimination Chamber if he was cleared
No,
sooner.
because Rock and
Roman
Roman
aren't
would
going
not
to.
schedule. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not.
Yeah. No,
But
I
Plus, I
knew
mean, what are you
Rock-
gonna have? What are you gonna have Rock do at Mania? So, and again, I said, you know, with the condition that he's in, and not to be like, oh, you know, he's out of shape. Obviously, like he still looks good.
athletic and in
But
shape are two different things.
He's
you
not.
know,
He's
yeah.
not in ring shape because
he's
he
built
hasn't
like
wrestled.
a Nissan.
What did
I
you
don't know
just
what that
hold on?
means.
What?
I don't know what that means.
I don't.
He's built like a Nissan Altima. Like
But
not like
What do
he's
you
built
mean
in
by
the
that?
I say this because like the shape of a Nissan Altima. He's a
Compact
very
but can fit
muscular.
forward. Or?
No, he's a very muscular man, but the build he has is not right for his age. He has
Well,
way too, he needs to that man needs to slim down just to get in shape with his age. I don't care.
I
Oh
don't.
man.
I think he can maintain the size. He just hasn't worked.
Gonna it's good.
He just hasn't
I
worked.
mean, yeah,
So
there's a
like
lot of
that's
ring
the
rest.
problem. You know, he hasn't wrestled a match. And I'm
Since
not
he-
counting that fucking 12-second Eric Rowan fucking WrestleMania whatever match.
Wasn't
I mean, he
that
hasn't
great.
wrestled a real match in 8 years, 8 years.
Yeah.
I would say not. Because it wasn't Twice in a Lifetime like 2015. Or 2013.
Man.
It's 2014 and 2015.
So he came back in
2013 is
2011, 2012, 2013. Oh, 2013. Yeah.
Twice in a
It's
Lifetime
been
would have been 2015 because 2013 was Cena and Miz, right? So that would mean Once in a Lifetime would have been the following year.
2011 was Cena and Miz. So 2012 was Once in a Lifetime. 2013 was the second match, I think.
It was twice in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah, you're right. So it's been more than 10 years. Because Once in a Lifetime is 2012.
Yeah, WrestleMania
So Twice in a Lifetime
29.
would
Yeah.
2013.
So we're 11 years removed from his last match.
And that's
Not
also where
counting
he
the
blew out
fucking
his.
WrestleMania 32, blah 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 blah. We're not counting that. But yeah, and he tore his groin.
Yeah.
So he hasn't wrestled a real match in 11 years. So put him in a tag match
Yeah.
because you can limit exposing him to, you know, fucking himself up again, potentially injuring himself again, derailing whatever movie shoot thing he might be doing. And for the other guys who are going to be pulling double duty, they're in a tag match, so they're not working as much. Even if you have Rollins wrestle later that night, or if you have that main event night, well, I don't know. But I mean, Rollins needs to defend the title against. It's probably going to be Drew.
God,
Which
I hope not. I really don't
No,
want to
because
see
they have
that.
the other qualifiers, and it looks like it's gonna be Drew or Orton.
I would
Yeah.
hope rather have Orton just to have him be in
Well-
a WrestleMania match since he missed last year.
here's what I'll say. If it turns out that he has signed a new contract, I'm perfectly fine with him going over Rollins for the title
Yeah.
at Mania. Because the work he's been doing the past couple of weeks
Yeah.
has been
Bum, bum, bum.
fantastic.
I like the shirt. Is it on the
I
shop yet?
I might buy the shirt. just for fun, and to balance it out, I'll buy a CM Punk shirt. But like, it's fucking, it's been really good work, and I do like heel Drew, especially this version where he's just an asshole,
Yeah.
and he's like, he's calling he's speaking for us when he was doing the whole like nobody wants to wrestle Roman. We all know how the match ends. His family gets involved, and I'm like, that's hilarious. Um,
I did
So
like his
obviously that's
little pot
gonna
kettle
happen.
thing where it's like,
Yeah.
I've beat you 3 times. Like, didn't you lose to this guy like 3 times? Like,
yeah. And he can say because there were outside interferences and stuff that cost him the match. You could sit here and like he has an argument.
yeah,
I know he's supposed to be the heel, but like you're looking at it and you're going,
that's fair.
everything he said makes sense though. Like he hasn't said something where I was like, oh no, he's just being a piece of shit. I mean, obviously then he's like randomly attacking people and you're like, oh, you're a bad guy. But like everything he said has been like, no, you're right. I agree. Like I agree with you. Uh, so
Making
I
the
would
heel
be
so likable.
yeah, but they always have that problem.
So from what it looks like, the Elimination Chamber will probably be Randy Orton, Bronson Reed,
The Miz.
Logan Paul.
No, there's no way he makes it into that.
Logan Paul has to face The Miz. There's no
I
way
still
he doesn't beat The Miz and goes to Elimination Chamber.
no. I could absolutely see like Kevin Owens costing him that match.
I don't.
I just don't. I don't see Logan going. I don't know why. I just don't see him in the chamber.
Did Kevin Owens?
No. If they want to keep it until this is the thing, I still bank on the fact that it's LA Knight versus Logan for the US title.
More than
So
likely,
I can see LA Knight and Logan making it to the chamber, and that's how you set that up.
Yeah.
It could be.
So-
I don't know. I'm weird about that with him being as green as he is.
Because
I mean,
the 12 people.
He's
that were
good,
predicted-
yes. I just
Yeah.
don't know if he's because Chamber's a different breed, man. That's a different
he's
kind of
better
match.
than he should be, according
Yeah.
to Kevin Owens, which is
Wow.
really funny. That spot. Did you see the thing I sent you? Like
Me?
mid match, he's yelling at Logan Paul.
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Clive, this is
So the 12 initial people were Randy Orton, Bronson Reed, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, AJ Styles, The Miz, Bobby Lashley, Ivar, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Dominic Mysterio, and LA Knight. We already know AJ's out, Sammy's out.
Orton
So
and
no.
McIntyre in.
Yeah, McIntyre and Randy are the two first people in.
That's who I couldn't remember who AJ lost to, and then I
Yeah.
remembered that's how McIntyre got a spot.
So
Yeah.
I got, Dom is definitely getting it. There's no way he doesn't get into the chamber match.
Yeah.
And
But
LA
doesn't-
Knight's definitely
doesn't-
getting into the chamber match.
Doesn't
So at least two
Dom
spots.
take on Owens?
No.
I'm pretty
Yes,
sure.
he does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, because he
Oh.
He's
made a
taking on
point.
Owens.
Yeah, he made a point
So
of.
actually, yeah,
I don't see Dom winning that. I see Owens
I see-
winning that.
I see Dom winning that because there's no way you don't do the Australia show without Dom.
Because of
Either-
Rhea.
So either Kevin wins, and they actually do set up the Braun versus. Actually, Braun causes him the match. Braun Breaker signs to Raw, causes Dom the match, and that's how you get
Set up
the
Braun, Dom.
versus. Yep, in
Braun
match.
Dom.
Shut yeah, okay.
Braun.
I don't want that to be a thing,
Braun Dom.
but that's how you get that match in Australia.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that will leave KO, and then who would be left? It'll between
You have Logan Miz, Lashley.
Ivar, Bronson Reed's probably gonna get in.
I don't want. I don't know.
We need a big man. and
I would
think-
rather see Ivar. That's not the issue. I don't want. It's not that I don't want a big man. I would rather see Ivar. I find that he is kind of doing
the
pretty
better
well.
person. Yeah,
Where Bronson has lost like almost every match that he's had in the last 6 months.
true. So Randy, Kevin, Logan, Knight.
Because I
Drew.
see if you're not gonna set up Knight or if you are,
Ivar.
this would be the time to do it. Because I think him, Rollins, if you wanted to have Rollins win, so be it. Or
But
if you,
who does Ivar beat? Like who beats Bobby?
I imagine it's Bobby and Ivar.
Let's see. What is it? Because their matches. Don't remember.
Because
They
I don't
didn't
think
announce him yet.
Bobby makes it. I generally don't think Bobby wins.
Who is he facing this on Monday?
Bobby? I thought it was Ivar.
I think you might be right. And also, I didn't keep forgetting about the Snoop Dogg title. Because that's the thing now.
Oh, because
is it?
Justin Bieber has it.
No, Khloe Kardashian has it now.
Oh, gross.
It's been just passed around. It's like
Just like Khloe Kardashian.
It's like, yeah.
Sorry, I saw the opportunity. I couldn't.
Wait, Danielson and I need to watch this match.
Ryan Danielson's in it. Jesus Christ, that's awesome.
No.
Bring him back to the gym.
Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr.
I
had
prefer
another
senior.
match. Shut up. Whatever. Finally. That fucked me up.
But no,
All I saw was them locked up again and smacking the shit out of each other.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I'm trying to look for these. So, New Day. I don't see. So it's Bronson versus Bobby.
Well, then
So
shit, Bronson's good because Karrion and them are absolutely going to cost him that match.
Yeah,
Because they're going to set that up for Mania.
and I don't see anything else. Any other matches set up? I know KO versus Dom. I think those might be the two matches.
What it's going to be Knight versus.
So that will leave Knight versus
Ivar.
Knight and Ivar.
Are they on the same brand?
No, but they're not doing
matters
brand
anymore.
matches right now for this. They're literally putting people together because Drew is on Raw and AJ's on SmackDown.
I guess that's true, yeah.
Sammy is on Raw and Randy's on
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it looks like they're doing like Raw versus SmackDown people, maybe.
SmackDown versus Raw remake confirmed.
Yes.
That's the first one. Yeah, I mean I can see it going a few ways.
So that means it is Bronson and Bronson's moving on, and then LA Knight moves on.
See, I hate that too, though, because I would rather see Ivar in that than Bronson.
But would you have Ivar beat Knight?
No, I absolutely would. Well, I'm not against the thought if they set him up against Logan at Elimination Chamber, like if they both lost, or not even that, but like kind of you said for Mania. If they had both of them lose, I'm not that upset about it because then you could set that rivalry up. But yeah, I mean it's. So what do we say? It was gonna be Bronson. We think of Bronson, Knight, McIntyre, Orton. You're saying Logan. I'm saying Miz. Who would be sixth?
You have Logan, McIntyre, Randy, Knight, Bronson, and Dom.
That was the other one.
Dom being the sixth.
Okay. I'm gonna go the opposite on a few of those. I'm gonna say it's gonna instead of Dom Owens and instead of Logan Miz. Because I just think I think as good as Logan Paul is, it's a little early for him to be in a chamber match in his repertoire. Plus, with him talking crap on the last SmackDown, it would be hilarious to watch him lose to The Miz. But I don't know.
Quick little funny thing I just want to point out.
Yeah.
WWE posted something about 3 hours ago, and it was like, "Hey, what's your favorite halftime show song?" We know ours, and then it was just a picture of LA Knight.
That's my guy.
Okay.
Or yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why is there a Zelina Vega Jade Cargo beef going on Twitter?
Is there? I don't know
Apparently
that it's legit, but
apparently it's over the Super Bowl commercial with Aubrey Plaza. Apparently someone thought some few people thought it was Zelina Vega in that commercial instead of it definitely being Jade Cargill
That's weird.
Jesus.
because they definitely do not look the same other than their hair color might be silver.
Yeah.
That just seems like the most
Hmm.
like it's legit like both of their accounts. Zelina Vega twin looks like me, doesn't it? Love you, but nobody thought it was you. This is my signature color. And don't you dare say nothing about rocking it better, because baby, I love you though. Now come on.
Oh Lord.
Fucking first feud of the year.
Selena versus
I was gonna say
Jake.
that's probably gonna be her first.
That would be funny though. During Black History Month. Wow. But I wouldn't like they both have this is the Kiera Hogan Sasha Banks thing all over again.
Yeah.
Hmm. I guess.
speaking of Sasha
yeah,
Banks,
sorry.
yeah,
I guess if
yeah,
you
go
wanna go ahead and throw
created
into
my
that
own
one.
subject.
Yeah, that
So
wasn't
Tony
on
Khan
accident.
made his big announcement, even though it was kind of leaked by Ticketmaster. Well, not leaked, but kind of already revealed. They're having a Boston show titled Big Business.
Business.
I'm
And
still
in
annoyed
the
that they put that Boston thing
com-
in there.
yeah, so in the promotional art for it, it's BOSS, balls, but the two S's are dollar signs. Who else was known as the boss of anything?
Naomi.
With dollar signs. Yeah.
Yeah, but also, I like to point this out. There's another famous wrestler who's a new agent very recently, whose whole thing is money.
Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon to AEW would be hilarious though.
Here comes the money.
It's a WCW thing.
Yeah, it's me. It's me, Dad. But no, Okada. I would actually. It would be hilarious because the last time Sasha and Okada have shared a ring together when they were both champions. It would be hilarious to recreate that visual in AEW as both of them debut in the same night.
Yeah. And we know how
Like
AEW likes their double debuts.
triple debuts in
Triple
some
debuts,
cases.
yeah.
Because they did at one point during
Ruby
Double or
Soho,
Nothing.
Adam Cole, and
Daniel
Bryanson. Or Brian Danielson. Yes, I lose track.
Oh, fucked it up.
Yeah.
Daniel
Ways.
Bryanson.
Bryans
Too many back
but
and
yeah,
forths.
I actually do see that as a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're selling it pretty hard, so I wouldn't surprise if that's the route they go.
They're selling it pretty hard for Mercedes Moné to show up. It would be a bigger surprise if Okada also showed up that same night because no one would expect it.
Almost do like a evolution entry where they're pulling like somebody is escorting her out of the limo, and then it's the shot of him escorting her out of the limo. There you go.
Okada.
Yeah.
No, because I see Samoa Joe beating. Samoa Joe's definitely winning at Revolution because he has a triple threat with Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page.
Hangman.
So he wins. He's jaw jacking the crowd, and then all you hear is the coin drop. Okada versus Joe for the AEW World Championship at will be their next pay per view. Or you set it up even better because at that point you will have Okada. Will Ospreay will be finished up with his AEW with his New Japan obligation.
Yeah.
Like either one of them coming out would be a big surprise. So you could actually do a triple debut. You have Will Ospreay.
I mean, to be fair,
well,
Osprey's not really a debut.
Neither is Okada. Okada has wrestled
That's
on
fair.
AEW television.
Yeah.
Okada and Will have both wrestled on free television for AEW.
Right. So it's not really.
I mean, official. It'll be their official debut as AEW wrestler.
Right. They'll get the graphic, and it'll be right here.
Will has already got it. Yeah. Okada hasn't.
But Okada will get the graphic, which means he's officially like now it's a real debut.
He's all
like,
elite.
Guys,
I like I like how that's a thing now. Like give someone the graphic is a great thing.
I'm fine with it when it's like they officially signed with it and it's a thing, but like when people treat it as like, well, now they're technically like now it's really a debut, and it's like, what are you talking about?
No, I think it's just a.
He wrestled 6 months ago. Shut up.
Yeah, it's a funny bit. Like no one takes it serious, but it's just fun to see.
No, people take
Hey,
it serious.
Yeah, I'll
Oh,
say
I've
it's
never-
wrestling. It's
You're underestimating wrestling Twitter.
Queen. What is her name? I can never pronounce her last name. She's been wrestling on AEW television. Well, losing all the time, but
Something with
Queen
an A,
Aminata.
right? Yeah.
Aminata. I will. look up her
Amber
name.
Moon.
No, Athena.
Oh, yeah, Athena.
But no, because people want her to get her official graphic of her being all elite because she has been putting in work.
Gotta be all elite though.
She's lost to Deanna Perrazzo.
Aminata, yeah.
Yeah. She lost to Deanna Perrazzo last week. She lost to Tony Storm this week. But like her wrestling ability is really good.
Get her in a title match. Oh, sorry.
But actually, I wouldn't mind seeing her in a TBS title match.
EBS.
So if they
CBS.
change, if they change
Networks.
networks, are they gonna please retire those fucking belts and make them like TV titles or something else, please?
Yeah.
Like I'm so
They
tired
probably
of
will.
this. Those belts
The
are stupid.
AEW TV women's TV title, the AEW TV title.
They should have just done that from the beginning.
They should have, but they
I understand what
they.
they were trying to do, but Jesus Christ, it just makes you look stupid.
I'm still
Especially when you
enjoying
have to change it. If you go, oh hey, now we're a part of such and such
TNT
company.
TV title. Or
But
now
now
CBS.
it was the same thing. It's the same thing with the Raw and SmackDown women's title.
Is it?
Yeah, because it was done when they switched brands, and oh man, we have. I don't like brand exclusive titles. Because now we have the Raw and SmackDown tag titles, and it's like, oh well, what if the Raw tag titles won this brand? At least
Well,
back in the day, it was like the WWE tag.
I was gonna say they'll go back to because that's what they're clearly doing.
Trying.
So, well, they did it with the titles for the women and the men. So it's a world title and the world title for the women, and then the
I still don't.
WWE title for the men and WWE title for the women. So I'm assuming, of course, they could swerve me too here, but when they split the tag belts, it'll be the WWE tag champs and the world tag champs. I would assume.
Yeah.
God, they need to do that soon.
Crossed.
They need to do that.
They do.
Soon.
They do need to do it soon.
But now we have British Strong Style versus Judgment Day in Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
They're not winning, but
no, they're absolutely not winning.
So I would say they're gonna pull double duty for WrestleMania, right? Like Judgment Day, they're gonna pull
2 matches.
I don't think that is. What I see is I think where they're going is this is the dumbest thing ever. Awesome Truth winning the tag belt.
Oh God, I hope not. I love Truth. I just don't.
Give him one
like
more belt before he retires.
Because you're gonna have. Wait, who faces? Yeah, Logan versus the Miz. Okay, never. Crap that idea. So what we might get? Awesome Truth winning the tag belt in a dumb way. The next night on Raw or SmackDown saying they can't pull double duty, and that's too much, so they'll split the belt. I feel like that's the only way to cap it because I feel like they could do a dumb bit with R-Truth still showing up on SmackDown. Like, no, you're on Raw now, but really, you can fight. Like, no, we're not doing that
belts,
anymore. Yeah. He shows up with the old belts.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
So like, as they're unveiling the new ones, he's there with both the friend to play.
Nah, do it even better. He gets like the fucking 90s belts.
The blue and gold.
He comes out with the fucking copper ones.
Oh yeah.
The pennies.
Jesus.
Just randomly. You would get those.
That would be a greater bit. Is every like pay-per-view he shows up with like a different older version of the tag titles.
No, it'll be funny if it's not even like a tag title. At one point, he comes out with both versions of the ECW title.
Oh
the
God.
silver and gold one.
Jesus. Yeah,
Fuck it. Make him get those like foam toy ones from like back in the day. Have him carry that out.
There's the fucking Ultimate Warrior color into IC belt at one point.
Yes.
Like, where do you
get that fucking like purple WWF championship or whatever it was?
We can finally
like
get the Smoking Bull.
The Brahma Bull title?
Belt?
Yeah.
Comes out with what was the Undertaker one?
Well, Undertaker never had like an official belt.
Well,
Yeah, the
the,
20
He had that one that
like
he
the
was like doing the
custom
giveaway.
one. Yeah, like
the anniversary.
It was
belt.
the winged eagle, but it
Yeah.
was like I actually tried to win that.
I remember you saying, yeah.
I'm really upset that I didn't.
He just comes out with that.
Collector belt?
Just two of those.
Oh,
Just-
he can go on WWE Shop and get all those fucking
That's how they
horrendous looking.
the NFL belts.
Oh, not even those. I was
hardcore
talking about
title.
like the Kurt Angle one, the Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels
Hey,
one.
I like the show. I like
The
the
Rey
Kurt Angle one.
Mysterio one.
Yeah.
He's facing off with Dom with the fucking Rey Mysterio World Heavyweight custom belt.
Because you mentioned Kurt Angle, I saw a funny video because he's on TikTok now, so I follow him and watch some of his stuff. And it's like he's watching old highlights, and it's the one of him trying to put Shane through the plexiglass. And he's watching, he just goes, "I got one more in me." And he goes, "Call Shane McMahon."
Yeah.
And then your wife go, "What are you doing?" Nothing. And he hangs up real quick. It's like, oh my god, it would never happen, but God, that's great to think
Wait.
about.
Speaking of people having one more in them, heard about Mick Foley?
Is he dead yet? Like,
No, he wants to have a death match for his 60th birthday.
can we not?
He wants to have one last death match.
Did Mick Foley just listen? I like Mick Foley. Mick Foley gave a lot to the company that didn't give him shit. He just needs to be done.
He said he doesn't even care what company it is.
I
By the
know.
way,
I just
He'll do NGCW if he fucking has to.
because
he
he
won't
did
go
a
to
he
NXT.
did a fucking bit with one of our OVW guys, Jake Vaughn, and it was like because Jake Vaughn does he's also on TikTok a lot, and he does like a lot of was it indie wrestling versus professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And one of them he'll do is like people like superstars you see at indie shows, and one of them was the most recent one he did was the guy that can't settle on a gimmick and is always changing. And he goes, "Oh no, it's not me, it's that guy." And they swerve over, and it's Mick Foley.
Just sitting there. That's funny.
It's like, yeah, that's kind of fits actually.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, what was it? What Royal Rumble where he entered in three times?
99? 2000.
Yeah, I think it was one of them.
Dude Love, Mankind, and Cactus Jack. I never understood any of that. Why he had three personas in WWE. I don't know if that was ever really explained.
Not really.
They didn't need to.
Yeah, I didn't. I guess it didn't really. Let's see. Oh, here's a random piece of wrestling news we don't ever talk about on here, except like last week. TNA fired Scott D'Amore, surprisingly.
Yep.
Not much has come out about it. We did discuss a little bit before we started that I guess it was a difference in opinions on how to run the business. It sounds like D'Amore kind of speculation. Yeah, there's speculation that this is what it is. But that D'Amore was wanting to spend more money on, I guess, upgrading the show both in productivity and the talents, and he was pretty much met with a "go fuck yourself." Speculated. We don't have anything confirmed of that. That's just kind of the gist of what we're seeing. A lot of the TNA talent is not happy about this. And in all fairness, it was very out of nowhere. I mean, this guy was just on there a few weeks ago, you know, when they switched over back to TNA.
TNA is back.
Yeah.
He was the face announcing that.
Now he's not. You know, it's I think it's gonna be odd.
He's back in unemployment.
Yeah, we did discuss that. I have a hard time believing somebody's not going to pick him up, either Ring of Honor or, which I know are owned by the same people, but Ring of Honor or AEW. Like, doesn't AEW own Ring of Honor?
Yeah.
That's what
I just thought about like him being the head of ROH.
That wouldn't be a bad fit.
Actually, be fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad fit.
Like Tony Khan just steps back, say, "Hey, Scott, this is yours."
Let him be the Shawn Michaels of Ring of Honor, pretty much.
Yeah.
And Tony, you know, for as much shit as we give him, has too much on his plate. He does need to step away from something.
Yeah.
right?
That would be
And not
perfect.
like not be involved at all. Like I'm not saying like he should have no business doing anything with the company he technically owns. I think it's just more so he puts way too much on his plate and shit gets convoluted and shit gets, it's not coherent at times. So like having somebody else do like you said, basically be the Shawn Michaels in NXT version of
Oh,
ROH,
yeah.
I think would do wonders for ROH, but also do wonders for Tony not having to do that as much. You can still oversee it, but you don't have to
Be
be
the one doing it.
all the way into it the way he is now.
Yeah. So
Because that man has a great eye for talent too. He could find new talent to bring into the ROH fold and just like build that up the way he
Yep.
wants to.
Like
It
not to shit on TNA in any way, but he has made so much with so little for so long because they really did,
They don't
especially
have the
when
budget they
AEW
used to.
started. Right. Well, and especially when AEW started, and they like almost became the number 4 company overnight.
yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
and then because they were a solid number 2 for a long time. I mean, they were doing $1 million viewers at millions of viewers like on Impact when they were on like Spike TV and shit like that. So like they were bringing in
And that was with one
money.
show a week, not
Right.
multiple.
So they weren't. Yeah, it wasn't like a million viewers spread out through like 3 days of whatever. It was. I think they aired on Wednesdays, if I
Thursdays.
remember correctly. Thursdays, yeah. They aired on Thursdays, and then I mean, obviously they fucked up and tried to air on Mondays, but that,
Fuck you, Hulk Hogan. Still to this day for that decision.
yeah, that was stupid. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. It did
'Cause
way more
Hogan.
harm than good. Yeah,
Well, I
Hogan
don't
and
think that's
Bischoff,
saying, yeah.
Yeah.
but no, like he's worked with so much, and there are guys there that have been there through all the ups and downs and the shit like that. Like, there's a lot of people not happy with what happened. So it says a lot. It says a lot because the morale in that locker room,
Drop.
dropped because they just went through a big rebrand. I guess I don't know how to classify it. It's not a rebrand because they're
Rebirth.
yeah.
Brand.
That would be
Renaissance?
D brand.
Yeah. It's
Went back.
whatever.
Went back in time.
Global Force. Bring
Oh,
back Global
God.
Force. JJ had it
No.
right. Triple
No.
J.
Triple J.
Fucking
God.
okay, but seriously though, him being in charge of Ring of Honor, the best move Tony Khan.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think inevitably that would be the
Give him that TNA budget, but bigger.
yeah.
It's like, hey, here is the ROH roster, and actually bring the titles back to being on ROH television.
No, because I think that's if you want to compete, the best way to do it is, and you're wanting to funnel consistent talent into AEW, is to take Ring of Honor and turn Ring of Honor into an NXT brand of just, hey, this is our developmental of the indie guys we want to put together, and once they get to a certain point, we'll bring them to quote unquote our main roster of AEW and let them do their thing, and have somebody who seems to, from all cases, like you said, making diamonds out of what he could mold better at a younger talent age as far as just building stars.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
They don't still do dark and all that
No.
shit anymore, right? They stopped doing it. Okay.
Because
So
that
they
was
could
their
use
that was their
Dark Elevation was on YouTube, and then it ended because you have Collision and Rampage, and then
Right.
most of that talent that was on Collision, Dark and Elevation were moved to the ROH brand.
right. So you can use ROH in that capacity of like a hey, let's get these guys working in front of people. Let's get these guys used to working on TV, because a lot of indie guys don't, wherever they were plucked from, where they're not potentially used to working in a television setting. They're not
Yeah.
used to working the crowd. They're not used to commercial breaks. They're not used to whatever, right? You gotta prep them for these things. You got to get them used to. All right, make sure that the camera, the hard camera's over here. You got to make sure you're facing there. You got to make sure you're doing. Work with them, get them ready so that you can, like you said, kind of funnel them up. I just saw a thing, and it was funny because it's Twitter, so naturally people take offense to everything. It was it was a post shouting out what's her name, Kalani Jordan in
Yeah.
NXT. If you haven't seen her, really great in ring work. She looks solid. She looks phenomenal. And somebody was like, I can kind of understand them not wanting to throw more money than they thought they needed to at Mercedes when they have talent like this in NXT that they can funnel up. They have all this talent down here that they can funnel up into the main roster if they wanted to and build new stars and not throw what they might perceive as unnecessary money. And people are like, bro, you're just hating. And I'm like, I don't know. That
No.
seemed like it didn't seem like
Why?
a nasty statement, like I can't believe Sasha didn't resign. It
Like,
seemed
why
like
would
a
you spend money on a Sasha when you have Tiffany Stratton right there killing it in NXT?
right,
All you have to do is boost her value up a little bit more, and she's
correct.
wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, would I have liked to see Sasha back in WWE? Yeah, sure. I think there's some really good matches and some really good things that could happen from that. But if she decides to go to AEW, and I hope that it works out for her there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, do I think that Tony has not a great history of booking his women? Sure. Do I hope that that can change? Of course.
Has he
Like,
been slightly improving? Yes,
sure.
actually.
And their division is getting better. It's not what it used to be.
Even then,
We're
I mean, you
not
bring, like you said, you bring a Demore in where it's now you have somebody to bounce that off of,
right.
Yeah.
hey, what you're doing is trash. Like
You have
now whether or not
Danielson.
Khan takes it as well as, some people would have like, hey, I think we should go this direction. But that helps having that other person that has experience in this going, okay, I see what you're trying to do. Let me take this and mold it and we'll come back and see if we can figure
Yeah.
out a gray area.
I feel like he just needs more people to make like a team, like how Triple H has his team of people he confides in. Because right now
you mean all
have,
of DX except Billy Gunn?
yeah. Because right now you have
I mean,
Tony Khan, you have Danielson, who's basically taking over Collision and CM Punk's firing. And
Yeah.
he's just taking Collision the way he wants to, where he can set up his own dream match before he retires.
Yeah.
issues. You don't have people that are doing it for the best of the business. They're doing it for the best of
Danielson
themselves.
is a guy who will, like, in a sense of, yes, he will book himself in stuff where he could benefit. Like, hey, I want to wrestle CMLL guy, and he kind of puts him on the show. But I can also see him taking a step back and like, hey, this needs improvement. I can see someone actually talking to Danielson and working through like, hey, this is how you would help.
I
And he
mean,
would
that
take
was
those
inherently
steps.
the issue with Jericho for a while. There was still kind of is. I mean, that's,
Yeah. Let's not
he
talk about
just
Jericho.
he just books himself in what he wants.
But there's a difference. It doesn't drag out.
Yeah, and that's
Danielson will like, hey, we're having two matches. Then they move on to something bigger and better.
and both matches are usually pretty good.
Yeah, Jericho is
Yeah.
like fucking months long of bullshit, and he comes out on top because he's Jericho.
Yeah.
And the Judas Effect is the most
And even
devastating move
and
in
even
fucking-
if he doesn't come out on top, like the person who beat him didn't come out better for it.
Yeah.
Like
Somehow
like
worse.
But I want, he needs someone like in a Gail Kim spot, in a Tommy Dreamer spot. I would love for him to sign Mickey James,
Yeah.
honestly. But I find her going to WWE.
well, with Aldis there, like
Yeah,
Nick Aldis
exactly.
is there, like it makes sense. Not that they haven't worked in separate companies before,
Yeah.
but
But with, I would say Mickey James would be a great insight on the women's division because she wanted to do, what was it, NWA Empower, that all women show.
yeah.
Having a mind like Mickey James booking for the women's division would
Bring
greatly
in
help.
since you got Copeland, bring in
Beth.
Beth.
I mean, she's a great wrestler, and but I don't know what she could. I feel
She
like,
doesn't necessarily have that mind for the business the
Yeah.
way
yeah,
certain people do.
like a Mickey would.
Right. Not that
And
there's
also,
not anything against her in any way,
Yeah.
but just it's
yeah,
not the same
and
thing.
not to discredit her either, but get like if you put in the time that they've had as wrestlers into account, at least someone like Gail and someone like Mickey has had that extensive like growth in the women's division, where Beth
Yeah.
was in like the Divas era of
That's
WWE.
true.
But also, yeah, I mean, keep in mind too, like Gail Kim was on top of the mountain in terms of like women's division in the best women's division in wrestling at one
Yeah,
point. Like TNA did their knockouts division way better than the Divas division could ever even fathom.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't
you
disagree
know,
with that.
That's why I say I would love for Gail Kim to get signed over to AEW, but I don't see that happen. I see her being a long time lifer for TNA, wherever it might change into.
right.
But
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
he just needs those people to form this team to help the booking. And I couldn't think of any more who were well known in the female side of booking off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean I can't really think uh, other than kind of WWE loyalists that I don't think would ever
Jump ship.
jump ship like that.
Well, given the fact that that ship might have a hole in its sink,
It's fair.
I still thinking about that. People shooting themselves in the foot. Kevin Nash was trending on Twitter for
Oh
things he might
god.
have said, and I get he owes Vince McMahon a lot for his career and life, but sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
My guy.
Oh, was
shut
he
up
just
and
like
keep it.
defending Vince pretty much?
Yeah.
Jeez.
If you and Andrew Tate have the same side when it comes to women, you are wrong. You are dead wrong.
Yeah, but
There is
I mean,
no-
in all fairness, what color is your Bugatti?
And how many of them
And how
do
many do you
you
have?
Right.
I don't care.
You'll never be
This-
top G.
This this lawsuit is going to be the death of a lot of people in this business.
I need a sound clip of you saying that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just
Top
you'll
G.
never be top G. Fucking Peaky
but yeah.
Blinder over here.
Because there's a lot of people. The WWE still needs like a good sweep and just kicking people out.
Yeah, no, I mean
It
it's
seems like way too people knew about it for this to just be Vince and Johnny Ace.
oh yeah, there's absolutely no way. Which, in all fairness, I do think most of the people that I think would have been for lack of a better term, deep
Kevin
into
Dunn,
this, probably don't work for the company anymore, or have retired,
Kevin
or
Dunn, Bruce Pritchard. I hope to God, because I thought about this, like people who might have known, because this is it spreads the talent as well.
yeah,
Like people who came up in my mind, like you have Sean, you have Hunter, you have Undertaker, because they are very loyalists. But then Jim Ross popped up in my head for a little bit because he was
yeah.
in
I mean,
talent relations
yeah.
for a good bit.
Yeah, but I
I
feel
mean-
like if there was a story that was going to come out about Jim Ross, I
It would've
definitely
been.
think it would have been by now.
Oh no, by God, I hope that's not like by God. It's just like
Yeah,
I was just thinking of people who would have been in charge, who have known about certain.
yeah,
Because I thought of the Ashley situation.
Masara.
Yeah, couldn't think of her
Yeah.
last name, and I didn't want to butcher it. And that was what 2000.
oh yeah,
This
where
was
she there
2000.
was like talkings of her coming out earlier on, where
And then
because
John,
she wouldn't, play ball, they pretty much killed her career.
Yep. John Laurinaitis
That's
came
actually
on, basically said
that's a poor
higher
choice of
ups
words.
knew what.
She's dead.
Oh.
I said kill her career. It's just poor choice of words.
Oh. But no, there was a clip going around of like there was a scene of her and Vince interacting,
Yeah,
and it hits deep once you know about the
like
situation.
how
Like,
bad.
where Vince is like literally yelling at her and belittling her until she cries. It's like, then Tori Wilson came out with a story where
Yeah,
just
she
don't
had
get-
come out a few years back though. Even prior to that, I feel like about.
I feel like everyone has had one at least.
I mean,
horror
yeah,
story.
you gotta think. I would say a strong amount of those divas probably have stories of just nonsense. Shit, Tori. God, who was the other blonde that was like Tori's opposite?
Stacy
Stacey
Keebler.
Keebler.
Yes. Man, that was impressive, both of you. It
Men of culture.
men of something.
Layla was my cup of tea.
I mean, you know,
Hey, it's just I thought about cup of tea. She's British.
Wow,
Sorry.
wow, really, really digging deep into that bottom of the barrel for that one, weren't we?
That wasn't intentional. It just popped in my head.
God, I'm trying. I was a Maria guy. I just always liked Maria.
Yeah, Maurice was better.
Oh wow, man.
Actually, Maria got better with age.
yes.
did you see what
Her and New Japan
Maurice's
were fucking-
thing going on? Where Maurice
what?
got diagnosed with pre-cancer.
Oh,
Yeah, they announced that
that
a few
explains
days
that.
ago.
I saw her name trending, but I'm like,
Yeah,
whenever I see her name trending on Twitter, I always assume it's just horny people being horny.
No, she posted a picture and it was like kind of fucked up looking. Like she had some like scarring or something, like open
it's
wounds. And
pre-cancer on
apparently
her
she, like-
ovaries.
she like swelled up real bad and like I guess she thanked somebody for saving her life because they like pointed her in the right direction or so. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I didn't read the whole thing, but I remember seeing the photo and like, so she's been having some health issues and obviously, hopefully, everything works out.
Yeah,
but she-
it's speedy recovery on that. That's never fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that. That's always a serious thing, but it sounds like they kind of caught it early, so hopefully
Yeah.
that plays in her favor. Let's see what else do we got to talk about here.
whatever we want.
What looks like they're pushing Jay Gunther for Chamber.
He can't.
Oh, that's right. So it'd be Mania. Okay,
Yeah, he can't.
that's
go
right.
to
Yeah, I remember you
Elimination
saying
Chamber.
he can't. He
Visa
can't actually
issue.
go. Why? So what's the deal with that? Why can't he?
Oh, he has to stay in the States.
Uh,
He's trying to be a U.S. citizen, so he has to stay in the States.
oh,
He
gotcha.
can't go.
Can't
anywhere
actually
else.
go. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Crazy
Okay.
to me that they can't like make exceptions.
Isn't
for work.
Jay? Wait, isn't? I don't think Jay can go.
No, probably not.
Thinking about it, if anything, Jay couldn't go either. His
Because
DUI. His DUIs, I
oh,
think.
that's true.
Same reason why they don't really show up at the. Well, he was at the last Canada.
That's why Solo debuted at Clash of the Castle because
Yeah.
neither of the
Usos
Usos could
couldn't.
make it.
So when it comes to international travel, like Jay, Jimmy, and a few other wrestlers who have visa issues,
Gotcha. But yeah,
like that's why AEW did a world tour. Jeff couldn't go.
gotcha.
Or Cash. No, Cash could go to all. He went to all in. Yeah.
Yeah, because they let him go and was like, hey,
Oh, his court case is coming up very
Is it?
very soon. But
I'm not against the Jay Gunther thing. I still was kind of hoping for a Jay Jimmy.
it
You
might
know,
still
just-
I
happen.
mean, that's what they're gonna do for Mania. There's no way they don't.
they probably won't.
Just a
That's the
nail in the
thing.
coffin to that story would be good,
Get
It
the
would be
Um,
nice.
closure on
I
it.
don't-
yeah.
I would think it's happening though. They would
Probably
have
not.
started doing something by now.
Well, that's
Let's
what
see.
I'd kind of hope with Rumble. Like
They
to
still have time.
The whole point of having them come out 1 and
Yeah, 1 and 2.
1 and 2 at Rumble was what I thought they were trying to
Rikishi
set up.
They came out at 3. I still say that. It would
That
have
would
been
be
funny.
great.
No, Solo at 3, Rikishi at 4. That would have been the fucking funniest thing. in the
Family
world.
reunion, and then Scotty Too Hottie at 5.
Well, he's AEW. You can't.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot.
Tamatonga at number 6.
There you go.
Higaleo at number 7. Just do Samoans.
It's just
bro.
the family tree, the Royal Rumble
The
family
first-
tree.
Get Jacob Fatu in there. Like
You
just-
could do like the first 10 entrants of the Royal Rumble only Samoan, and
Yep.
not in, it doesn't even have to include Rock or Roman.
Jesus
Right.
Christ.
Yeah.
It blows my mind how many people in that family have wrestled or are currently wrestling.
Yeah.
Where's fucking Manu, right?
Yeah.
And Deuce
Deuce.
and
Oh. Didn't he pass away?
Deuce.
Did he?
passed away?
Deuce?
Yeah.
or
I
not
got-
was it Domino that was the
No, Deuce. It was Deuce. You're right. But I feel like he passed away.
I can't remember all the ones that have passed away because at least you got
Umaga.
Umaga. Didn't Rosie pass away?
I think Rosie was Umaga.
Is that the same? No, that's not the same.
Okay.
Rosie was the superhero.
Yeah.
He was the tag
Oh,
team
yeah,
partner.
Rosie was Roman's like
brother.
Brother.
yeah.
Uh,
So Yokozuna, Rosie, Umaga.
Maybe that's all it is. Maybe well, I mean, if you got Snuka since he's on the family tree.
it. I don't
Nope,
think
he's
he.
50. No, he's 52, so he's still alive.
Rosie is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For some reason
I got scared because
there's one of them I thought it was Rosie, but it might have been the other because there was 3-second warning? Was that the name of the group?
3-minute warning.
3-minute warning. Isn't
Yeah, that's-
one of
no,
them
that's-
dead?
Yes.
That's Umaga,
Deuce.
isn't it?
Deuce is yes.
Yes.
Deuce is still alive. By
Yeah. He's part of the dynasty through Snuka.
Yes.
Okay.
He's one of Snuka's kids.
The way.
Yeah, I
he's
have to look at that one
Tamina's.
time
He's
and
Tamina's
see.
brother. Yeah.
And see who's related, like how they're all related, because it's very confusing.
There's a great video that actually explains all that.
Is it?
Yeah. I'll send it later. I'll listen to it. I had to listen to it while I was sick. It was something to listen to while I was sick and dying. But
I went to because I have a feeling I know who it's gonna be, but I'm still curious. Who do you all think that the NXT mystery superstar is gonna be that they announced on NXT?
has to be Japanese.
See, I didn't think that because the way it kind of came off, I was like, is this how they're gonna bring Bo Dallas into the mix?
I don't.
The three faces thing, I guess, is like a Japanese.
Is that what it is? Okay.
People have explained the whole three faces thing is a Japanese proverb.
Oh, okay. Because
That's why
like
I say
I'm
it has to
reading,
be a
I'm like,
Japanese
okay,
version.
I could see this being like,
But I don't think it's a guy.
oh,
So it's Julia.
I think Julia.
okay.
Because people were
She's-
speculating that it might have been Okada before the Okada stuff came out that he was a little more likely to sign with AEW.
Yeah. And also, I thought that makes no sense because just because he's I get just because he's Japanese, he wouldn't
Yeah.
do the mysterious. I don't think they would
Right.
change the
The gimmick.
Rainmaker gimmick
no.
for this. And
No.
also, him going to NXT, I get people were finding it funny that he'll be in NXT joining Chase U. They wouldn't put him on NXT. Julia, yes, because she still needs to work on promo skills, and you can
Yep.
still build her up.
Yeah. Well, then I was
That's-
way off.
Yeah.
That's
doing
not the
both.
gist I got from the video.
Who'd you think it was? Oh, you thought it was going to be Bo.
I thought they were gonna do kind of, which I'm not sure still how I would have felt about that, but kind of doing Bo Dallas in a
Uncle Howdy.
yeah, like maybe not
I
specifically
mean, I would-
that character, but you know,
I would
something to
very
that
much like
gist.
him to come back and get a proper type of run for
Yeah.
Oh, leave it.
Ray's memory kind of thing. And
If they would ever do something like that, it wouldn't be in.
no.
Yeah, I guess
would
that's
be
true.
that's a
That's a main
main roster
roster
thing,
yeah.
push. Yeah, that's true.
Besides the fact that it's not like Bo hasn't been on the main roster for years before he left anyway.
Bo Dallas was an NXT champion.
Yes.
Also, there's
Well,
a
in all
picture of
fairness,
him.
there's been a lot of NXT champions that have joined the roster and ain't done shit.
Well,
Big E. I can name pretty much.
I
most
wouldn't
of them.
say Big E ain't
Sorry,
done shit.
no. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I was just naming a NXT
Okay. I was
champion.
like, yeah, I feel like he's had a pretty
Wasn't-
successful career.
Sorry, you said that. All I heard was NXT champions, and I just said the first one that came to mind.
I'm thinking like Sami Zayn or
I mean, he's still doing
Still on
stuff.
that list.
He's
Yeah.
still
He's-
okay.
He's
like
still
a
well,
5-time IC champion.
yeah, and he just
Undisputed tag team champion.
and he just main evented night 1 of WrestleMania last year. So like,
Exactly.
I don't know, dude. You can't really say he hasn't had.
I would say he's done better in the
Never.
last year, but I think for a long time there, they didn't do shit.
If we're
Put
talking
it
about
that
an
way.
NXT champion who didn't do nothing, Neville.
Oh
Never,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
There you go. Because let's see.
What does he go by now? What is it's Pac?
Pac,
Whatever.
the bastard. But NXT champions was Seth, then Big E, then Bo Dallas, Neville, Sammy, KO, who beat Finn, Joe,
Shinsuke.
Nakamura,
There's another one they didn't do. Well, I guess that's not really their fault with Joe. Joe couldn't stay healthy.
Bobby Roode.
There's the one they didn't do shit with.
Well, again,
Could stay healthy.
Drew. Drew was NXT champion.
Yeah.
I think he had to drop the belt due to injury.
Yeah.
Andrade.
Oh, Andrade was.
Did really do much.
He lost to Aleister Black. Tommaso got the belt after him. Then Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Finn again. I'm trying to think who beat Gargano. I feel like Adam Cole beat him again. Then Finn.
Yeah.
Then Carrion. Then Tommaso again. Then Braun.
I am surprised with all these people that have made their push up that Ciampa took as long as he did to get pushed to the main roster. And Gargano for that, which I mean, Gargano, I know there were some issues with Gargano's size for Vince, but.
Well, I think Ciampa also didn't want to go to the main roster.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a while, he really wanted to stay in NXT, especially
because the Vince thing.
Right. He fully trusted Triple H, but did not trust Vince at all, and wanted to stay in NXT.
Yeah.
Which, if you look at the history of NXT call-ups, it's obviously been
Let's
a
not
disaster.
forget that exchange of NXT stars coming to Raw and SmackDown, and they really did ruin the Gargano Ciampa feud for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because they were teaming together, even though they were in a blood feud.
Yep.
I want to see how right it was.
I did like the random duo. I don't know if y'all saw this on SmackDown of Adonis and Cedric.
I'm cool with that.
I am. It just seems kind of.
It's two guys that haven't been doing anything.
Yeah. When the nerdy black guy and the cool black guy team up, kind of crazy. Yeah. That's all I saw. He's in this like raggedy ass shirt and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy you clothes. Like, okay.
Oh, because he told him he looked like a referee.
Yeah, I look like a referee. Jesus.
So yeah.
Well, because Ashanti the Adonis is not really all that bad in the ring. Obviously, gimmick wise, it just wasn't.
But yeah, Keith Lee was WWE NXT
champion. Yeah, he was double champion for a short minute.
Yeah, Braun.
There's one they didn't do nothing with.
So I was almost through. I was missing Keith Lee, Carmelo Hayes, and Dragon. Those are the only 3 I didn't know.
But that's because you stopped at Braun.
Yep. I stopped at Ziggler.
Ziggler I didn't hear you say Ziggler.
Yeah, I said Ziggler won it because that was like the swerve they wanted to do, and then Braun won it on Raw.
Won it back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carmelo won it off him. Then Dragon.
Yep.
Jesus, this belt has not had the longest. The longest. Because out of those people, like a few of them won it like multiple times.
Yeah.
Shinsuke,
only a few.
Joe, and Shinsuke, Joe, and Finn.
And Braun.
Yeah, Braun. I'm cold that one.
I am curious what they're gonna do because I do like what they've done with Shinsuke as far as the heel turn. I'm curious if they're gonna keep capitalizing on it. So I'm not sure who he goes to from Cody, if they're gonna put Cody in the Reigns spot. I'd like to see Shinsuke get something. I'm surprised he didn't get an Elimination Chamber thing.
No, I got him going again. I got him being a feud for whoever wins the IC belt. Yeah, the IC belt off
Gunther.
Gunther. Yeah.
So do we think Gunther loses that here soon?
Yeah.
When? WrestleMania?
WrestleMania.
Think
It has
so?
to be.
I got him losing at WrestleMania and then going on. If his visa clears up by Bash at Berlin, I see him doing that. Going after the World Heavyweight Champion, whoever it may be.
So
That'd
yeah,
be a
I
big
mean,
marquee match.
if it's still Seth, I'm perfectly fine with him being the next World Heavyweight Champion, beating Seth.
I gotta be in
Um,
Drew. I gotta be in Drew.
I
I would
also
also
have it
be-
being Drew, but I want Drew to have like a
decent
decent
run.
reign, so I don't want it to just be like
I don't. If it's Seth, Gunther's winning. If it's Drew, this is how you turn Gunther baby.
Have
And
McIntyre
the
beat him.
That'd be
babyface in
so
the sense
weird.
babyface in the sense of he's not doing babyface things. He's just cheered because he's just that dumb.
Well, yeah.
Like
I
again,
feel like he
Swerve,
already is.
Yeah.
Swerve is now being portrayed as a face.
Did they double turn them? Because
Yes.
yeah.
We
Okay.
didn't get to talk about it. Swerve and Hangman 3, great match. Fucking great. They put on a match of the year contender and in a draw.
Hmm.
So basically we have
What in the Tokyo Dome though?
Swerve doing a buckshot of his own. Like
Yeah.
basically Hangman does a buckshot. Swerve
Misses.
rolls out the way, and in the same roll, he gets through the ropes, sets himself up, and does a buckshot on Hangman and gets a 2 count.
It was
Then does a
it
dead
was actually a better looking.
Yeah. Then does a dead eye through a table, just really stealing that man's moves.
Yep.
Trying to think of all the good spots in that. It was just a great match, and I recommend anyone watching it to watch it. But the match ends with him Swerve hitting the driver. 1, 2, and as the ref is about to count 3, you just hear the bell. Swerve, being the baby face in this situation, says, "Give me 5 more minutes. I got this one. Give me 5 minutes." And then Hangman up the ramp, laughing like a fucking maniac. Nah, I'm not doing this.
Right.
You don't get your 5 minutes. So basically, Tony Khan tells Tony Schiavone, we're going to have a triple threat of Revolution. It will be Samoa Joe versus Hangman versus Swerve. Everyone saw the draw coming, but the match was so good that it doesn't.
Yeah.
Being predictable didn't matter. So you can basically say you don't want to take the bet off Samoa Joe. So this is the best way to do it. Have them cancel each other out. Joe wins. Cool. Move on to the next thing while they're still feuding, or end their feud the next pay-per-view or match down the line. But Swerve being the babyface and Hangman solidifying himself as a heel is a great way to do.
Also makes sense.
Because he's in the Drew predicament where he's right in most of this.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, Swerve came to this man's house and cut a promo on his baby infant.
Jesus.
He drank his blood.
Yeah. God. Yeah.
Like it's such a great way. Like people are just so over for Swerve, and I really do want him to be AEW World Champion at least by the end of this year. If he's not, that is a crime.
Swerve went on a drug.
They actually did a spot where they beat up a mascot. They had to do the dance. It had nothing to do with Swerve. I think it was like the Gates and Agony and Brian Cage versus some local fucking team. Or I just forget this part of the match. And they had like the either baseball team or some mascot do the dance, and they just beat him up after the match.
Jesus.
Just solidify there. We're still heels. Swerve might be cheered.
Right.
Fucking Brian Cage is not. Oh yeah, my favorite part of that match. Fucking Prince Nana dancing over Swerve to give him a fucking pep boost to get out of a 9 count,
It's
a 10 count outside the ring.
It's his cameo character, you know.
It's fucking hilarious. Anyone remember that match between Roman Reigns and Finn Balor?
Mm-hmm.
Give me the flashback of when they cut his music on and Finn's just flopping like a fish and he just gets in the ring. It's like a fucking power boost.
Yeah.
The Prince Nana dancing over him and he just gets up, gets in the ring.
Jesus. Was there Are we missing anything for the week that we can think of wrestling wise?
Nothing of note right off the top of my head.
Unless you got anything. Kind of looks like you have thorns right now, the way you're positioned. That thing in the back.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Look at that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
great. Satan? Is that you?
Satan?
No. That's so funny. It's a cat tree, by the way, but no, I got nothing.
No, I can't really think anything wrestling. I know I was telling Porto earlier. I did watch the Marvels.
How was
it was adequate.
Okay.
So my wife fell asleep during it, but that's not unusual. My biggest complaint is they don't really make you care about the bad guy in it. And
Okay,
like
that's unfortunate.
you kind of don't understand. They slightly explain why she's doing what she's doing, but not in enough detail that like you can kind of. I always like it when they make you understand the bad guy, where it's like, okay, yeah, I don't agree with this, but I would understand why somebody would think that way. They don't do a
make
great
you
job
agree
with
the
that.
bad guy like Thanos. You know?
Yeah. And they don't do a phenomenal job of, and maybe that's part of the point, is like you don't really know what she's doing for like a good third of the movie until like the final act. Like, oh, this is what she's trying to do. Okay,
Right.
I get it. The acting is a lot better. I think Brie Larson was a lot more likable in this movie and actually had some character development.
I was gonna say she gets a bad rap, but
in all fairness, the first Captain Marvel is Nick Fury kind of carries that movie for me as far as
Samuel L.
dialogue.
Jackson, he carries most things. But
Yeah. But no, she was very good in it. There's actual character development, which is nice. The girl that plays Miss Marvel was one of those kind of
actual name.
I do too. One of those scenarios kind of like Blue Beetle, where like the family is actually kind of funny and not overly over the top and annoying.
I was gonna say every interview I've seen of her, she always just comes across like really fun. So I never watched
I didn't either. Yeah,
the show or whatever.
I was kind of
like,
iffy on it after She-Hulk, and I was like, now I'm like, I might go back and watch this. Then.
Everything I've seen of her, like just like I've seen interviews of her, she just seems fun. So I'm like, okay, I don't dislike her.
I do want to see what they changed of her character, because her character's not what I'm used to from like source material as far as her powers, but was still good. The only one they didn't really, I feel like, gave a lot of time to was Monica Rambeau, who inherently I think is supposed to be Photon in this universe. I'm not.
Yes.
That's the kind of the gist I'm giving. I will say, this doesn't spoil anything. There's a fun gimmick through that entire movie of like Miss Marvel trying to like give her a nickname, and some of them are really stupid, but there's a few that are actually pretty funny where it's just like comically like good. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. I think I wouldn't pay money to see it, but with it being on Disney Plus, it was worth a watch.
Okay.
Still not the worst Marvel movie I've ever seen.
What's the worst Marvel movie you've ever seen?
I would say, ooh, that's a good question actually, because there's like 2 or 3 that I just despise. Thor 2 is probably the worst one I've ever seen. Just because I'd say it's a tie, but oddly enough, they're both Thor movies. Thor 2 sucks, and Thor Love and Thunder sucks.
Yeah, I think. See, Thor 2, it's not that it sucks, it's just that you almost don't care.
Yeah, it just seems pointless.
That's really all it is. Like, there's not much to where I'm like, I'm so invested in this.
Yeah,
like, it just wasn't. Because I remember going to see that in theaters and being like, okay, this happened. Like it, you know.
And it really doesn't play anything to the story other than just introducing the stone.
Yeah,
that's really the main like point of that movie. Seems like it's just to introduce that one stone.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the Ant-Man ones get a bad rap. I think they're enjoyable.
The
I
second
love
one was a snooze to me.
like the second one is in the Ant-Man Wasp, or the
Yeah.
second Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yes.
Fair enough.
No, but sorry. But
I didn't
no,
say
they're-
Quantumania.
they're
but
a
I heard
lot
not great
slower.
things.
Quantumanium's
Quantumania-
just bad. The bad part about that one for me is they split the group up, and I just wish they had kept them all together to play off of each other. You have shit. What's his name from Ghostbusters and a bunch of other movies?
Lawrence Fishburne.
Nope.
Sorry.
Is he
I've
in
seen
Ghostbusters?
No, actually.
No, Groundhog Day, Ghostbusters.
Bill Murray.
Thank you, Jesus Christ. Bill Murray's random cameo in Quantumanium that just is there. Cause sure. No, I'd still say though Thor 2 is probably the worst one, with Love and Thunder being a close second. And I hate that because I generally like Hemsworth as Thor.
There's so many things they could have done with that movie that they just didn't.
Oh, it's just too many jokes. It was just all Love and Thunder's bad because they just undo every bit of character development he's ever had throughout all of the movies.
Right.
And just made him the bumbling idiot again who's trying to fuck his hammer. I don't know. It's TV show, worst TV show, still She-Hulk. Cancel me. It's still the
No.
worst one.
No.
Which one's worse?
Iron Fist.
It's absolutely no. I would still rather watch Iron Fist.
Iron Fist is still worse.
It's
to me.
bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not good. I would still rather watch Iron Fist than watch She-Hulk again. No, Iron Fist is only bad because they hired a guy who had no martial art background to be a martial arts superhero. That's the
Exactly.
main premise of this guy. And you go, oh yeah, I don't know any martial arts. So it's just a bunch of jump cuts, like a Liam Neeson fight. And it's just not, it's not good. I don't count that though. Which I'm still waiting for them if they are or not going to do Daredevil.
Daredevil is coming out.
Is it? Okay, because I kept seeing that they weren't doing it, and then
They basically confirmed that most of the Marvel shows are now canon to the MCU.
yeah.
Minus two.
Jessica Jones and Iron Fist.
No. Iron Fist and the Defenders. Just so we
Just so we can just eliminate Iron Fist altogether.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Defenders wasn't as bad, but it also
not.
wasn't mainly Iron Fist. So it
I know.
was- I couldn't get into Jessica Jones though. I tried. I watched it a few times and it was okay. It seemed like they were trying to make a lesser powered Supergirl.
I feel like they were just trying to. They should just lean into the fact that she's a detective and make it like a detective show. But
Yeah.
whatever.
But
Yeah.
all right, well, we're hitting 2:30, so let's
Yeah.
that is all we have for this week. I appreciate everybody that came out, and if you're watching this, feel free to follow us on our social medias. We have our link tree up, and you can come see us rant on Instagram and Twitter, and me post cringy TikToks of random shit we talk about. So, and if you like it, please like, subscribe, tell us what the worst Marvel movie you think is, and we'll criticize you for it. But we will catch you guys next week, and we will see you guys on the other side of the ring. Good night.